get it, Rolf. Pretty. I'm sure Mr. Messersmith is pretty excited to be introduced to the love theme from Titanic.
Now listen to the momentum start to pick up here.
All right, for the Benedictine men, here's the starting lineup. Brett Fisher, a senior out of Overland Park, Kansas. He's the point guard. Jonathan Anakwe, a 6-foot senior out of Shawnee, Kansas. John Harris out of Lincoln, Nebraska, 6'2 junior. Jake Chanuth out of Herman, Missouri, a 6'5 sophomore. And then Jalen Messersmith, the leading shot blocker in the conference. He is out of Blue Springs. And he is 6'8". He's a good one. Ryan Moody, good coach of this ball club. For the Vikings, they'll go with James Lane, 32 points in his last 2 games. 6'6 senior out of Cape Girardeau. Andre Scott, 6'2 senior, San Antonio, Texas. Brad Hamilton, 6'2 senior, Pittsfield, Illinois. Also in the starting lineup, Byron Cook, 5'11 freshman point guard out of Fort Worth, Texas. And the man in the middle, Robbie Alberton, 6'7 junior, St. John's, Antigua. So there you have the starting lineup. Note on James Lane, Joe, 7 double-doubles this year. He's now scored in double figures in 21 straight games.
Yeah, James, he just really is asserting himself. And I'm like Coach Lance. I think he definitely deserves some consideration as player of the year in the conference. Unless we win the conference or win the tournament or something else, he's probably not going to get that award. But I don't know anybody that can be any more dominant than James Lane when he is on, and he's definitely been on here recently.
Certainly should be a first-team all-conference player. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Vikings in the home gray with the purple numerals trimmed in orange. The Ravens in the black with the red numerals trimmed in red. They're just a couple games behind Evangel, so this battle is for second place in the conference as the Vikings get set to take on the Ravens. The Ravens won round 1 in Atchison, 82-74. Ball will be in the air. And Joe Williams, the senior, getting a start today. I mentioned Ravi, but Joe's going to start as a senior. Good to see that. And Joe lost the tip, but he's getting a start here on senior day.
He won't lose many battles.
No. Fisher, top of the key. Swings it around to Chanuth. Chanuth now to Harris. Harris holds it. There's where's number 21, John Harris. Back it comes to Fisher. 7 on the shot clock. Harris trying to get around Brad Hamilton. Spins in the lane. And it's either Hamilton or Joe Williams. Who they want to give it to?
Called on Brad. Brad Hamilton gets the call, the foul.
So Hamilton picks up the first foul.
Harris and Anakwe, the 2 guys you need to stop on this Anakwe. You got to stop Harris and him. If you stop those 2 guys, they, as I said with Coach Moody in the interview, in the second half at Atchison, those 2 had 22 out of 26 free throws in the second half. That was the difference in the game.
Harris just missed the first one. He has another one, and this one is no good. And there's a rebound for James Lane. Again, 7 double-doubles this year, 32 points in his last 2 contests. Here come the Vikings. Cook swings it around the lane. Baseline jumper on the way. That one spins in and out. Joe Williams, offensive rebound. Goes up, has it blocked by Messersmith, but it comes away to Hamilton. Messersmith over 2 blocks a game. Hamilton falls down, loses the dribble. Anakwe lobs it to Harris, but running in the passing lane and stepping in front, Andre Scott. He can't save it. It'll belong to the Ravens.
Yeah, this should be a good game. I know I'm looking at Benedictine right now. They only give up an average of 60.2 points a game, so a very good defensive team.
Yeah, they like the half-court game, even though they scored 82 in the contest we had with them. Anakwe with a basketball. Vikes in a man-to-man as Chanuth sets a screen. Now they'll lob it underneath. The Messersmith loses the ball as coming from the weak side was the point guard, Byron Cook, to knock it away, but it goes out of bounds.
Good play by Byron. That would have been an easy layup if Byron had not gotten a hand on that block, and that was a clean strip, too.
By the way, Messersmith just over 2 blocks a game. Here's the inbounds pass to Fisher, and he gets in the lane and scores, and that's the first bucket of the ball game. Quickly the other way, Andre Scott ties it with a 13-footer from the left wing. And Andre's been a good offensive player the last few games, averages 11.4 a game. Now the top of the key, Chanuth gives it to Anakwe. To Harris. Harris drives inside the lane. No-look pass. Baseline cut off by Joe Williams, so Chanuth kicks it back out to Anakwe. Anakwe fakes the three, gets a screen by Chanuth right in front of the Viking bench, drives in the lane again underneath the Messersmith, misses the shot. Big Joe bothered the shot. Ball will be tracked down in the corner by Byron Cook, but it's out of bounds. It'll belong to the Ravens.
Big Joe says you might be the leading shot blocker in the conference, but look at this.
Yeah, and he bothered that shot, and the Vikes just couldn't track it down in the corner. Harris inbounds to Chanuth, back to Fisher. Fisher around to Anakwe. Anakwe, left wing. One dribble, fires the three, buries it. And he said, you're going to give me a step, I'm going to take it, and it's 5-2.
Anakwe averages double figures, 10.2 points a game. He's been a good player for quite a while in this Benedictine program.
At the top of the key, Andre Scott off to Hamilton. His three won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Messersmith. Messersmith to Harris. Harris pushes it up the left side, drives in the middle. He stumbles, goes to the floor, and a foul is going to be called, and this one's on Andre Scott. First foul, second team foul on Valley.
Byron Cook made a face at the official, and the official said, hey, I didn't call that on you.
So the Vikes down 5-2. Here's the pass into Fisher. Fisher off to Chanuth, top of the key. Now they'll work it to Harris. Down low, trying to get it to Messersmith, and a good job by Joe Williams. He got a hand on it and then knocked it off the fingertips of Messersmith out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Joe's giving Messersmith all he wants down on that low block right now. Joe always brings 100% to the gym, and he's doing that in a start this afternoon.
That might be a good matchup there because he is so physical. Williams, top of the key. Off it comes to Hamilton, spins to a double team, and now they're going to call a foul. And this one is going to be called on Jonathan Anakwe, his first.
Yeah, these are two good defensive teams. This Benedictine team, you've got to work for everything you get. As we mentioned, they only give up 60 points a game, but they play a tough man-to-man.
5-2 with 3 minutes in. Andre Scott, 15-footer. That one won't go. And Harris with a rebound, and I guess we have another foul.
They're going to be on Joe.
Joe knocked it away, but called for the foul, so that's the third foul on the Vikings. And Williams started. He comes out on senior day, and here's Robbie Burton into the lineup. 5-2, 3 minutes in. On this Saturday afternoon, a week to go. This one and two more in the regular season. Fisher, top of the key. Down low to Messersmith. Goes in strong, misses the shot. As Robbie bothered that shot, held his ground, and Messersmith came up a little short. Vikings with a basketball. Cook drives inside, flips it off to Robbie Burton, but a foul on the floor. And boy, they're calling this one tight to start with.
Yeah, they are. And a game called very tightly when these two teams played out in Atchison here about a month ago. And that foul is going to come up on Harris. John Harris, that will be his first. That's team foul number 2 on Benedictine. The Vikings have 3.
Cook with the basketball, looks inside, gives it to Hamilton. Hamilton baseline, nowhere to go, gives it to Lane. Lane looks in for Rafi, can't get it to him. Hamilton, top of the key to Andre Scott. 22 on the shot clock, 16:30 to go in the first half. Rafi Burton off to Andre Scott. Tries to get it and does to Rafi. Baseline, 12-footer, good. Rafi says, I'll hit a baseline jumper. He averages 13.4 a game. His first bucket, and it's 5-4.
Good to see the big guy hit his first shot right over the top of Messersmith.
Harris from the free throw line missed it, and the ball went up and hit the guy wire. So the Vikings will get it. Boy, these rims must be tight here. We see that a lot here, don't we? That
you
ball
do.
Hitting and going up and
you
hitting the guy wire.
think Messersmith's big. He's 6'8". Now in the lineup, Rafael Sarakas.
Yeah.
He stands 6'10". He's a senior out of Athens, Greece. So Messersmith comes out. 6'10" comes in.
Sarakas can play pretty well. He kind of dwarfs Robbie Burton. And Robbie at 6'7". All right, here's Hamilton. Vikes looking for the first lead of the game. And Kyle Hickey will drive around, had it knocked away, picked up by Scott. Scott goes baseline. He's fouled. As Andre said,
I think they say he stepped out of bounds. I think they say Andre stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
Chanuth will inbound the ball and gets it into Harris. Physical game. We're expecting that this afternoon. 5-4. Ravens with the lead on this Saturday afternoon. Sarakas around to Chanuth. Now to Harris. And they give it to Chanute. It's knocked away by Andre Scott. He tight ropes the baseline, saves it into Cook. Here comes Cook on the run. Into the corner to Hickey. Hickey brings it free throw line. Man-to-man defense by the Ravens. Try to get it down low. Now a bad pass by Cook. And here comes Anakwe. Nice move. He gets around Lane, and Lane may have gotten a hand on that one. He missed it.
Need to get James Lane involved in the offense here.
Underneath to Robbie Burton. Robbie spins in the lane. Head and shoulder fake. Puts this one up, and he's fouled. And Sarakas will pick up the foul his first. 13th foul on the Ravens.
Yeah, good job getting the ball inside. Robbie Burton, nice head and shoulder fake that time. Got Sarakas up in the air, then flipped it up and drew the two-shot foul. Got to get James involved in the offense. So
let's see what Robbie. You're right. He's only touched the ball once, I think, on the offensive end, taking the one shot. And Robbie ties the game. He has 3 points now. 5-5. Good crowd on hand on this Saturday afternoon. We didn't get nearly the storm was anticipated, so I think everybody out and enjoying a nice day. For the lead. Robbie got it.
Good job, Robbie. Robbie with 4 points in the game.
Vikes lead for the first time in the contest. Connor Fleming into the ball game for the Ravens. He gives it off to Anakwe. Anakwe at the top of the key. Vikes stay in the man-to-man. Kyle Hickey has that defensive assignment. Now leaves it off to Sean Fleming. Sean Fleming, top of the circle to Fisher. Boy, good ball movement. Sarakas gets it down low, kicks it out of the lane. Back out front to Fleming. His 3-ball rattles around, no good. Sarakas rebounds, misses it, fouled by Burton.
Yeah, Sarakas just took that rebound away from Robbie Burton on the offensive glass. He stands 6'10" and went up strong, so Robbie picks up his first foul of the game. That'll be a 2-shot foul. That will put Rafael Sarakas, the 6'10" senior out of Greece, on the line for 2.
Well, we get to stay close to home. In fact, stay home Thursday night. Evangel will be here. Sarakas hits the first free throw, and then we end the regular season in Baldwin City next Saturday.
Yeah, this is a fun time of year, especially when you're in the hunt for one of those top positions in the conference. So it's a fun place to be right now.
Sarakas hits them both. They're 2 for 4 from the line as Harris missed both of his. And it's 7-6 Ravens. Glad you can be with us on Stretch and on live stream. Chaz Maddie and his crew working the live stream today. Here is Robbie with a little jumper from the left side of the lane. Right over Sarakas, and Robbie has 6 quick points.
And Robbie's not backing down. He's going very aggressively to the basket right now, and that is very good to see.
Anakwe, top of the key. Working against Cook. Stops the dribble. Gives it off now to Fleming. Fleming works it underneath Sarakas. Puts up the shot. He traveled. Tried to get Robbie to leave his feet. Couldn't do it and shuffle the feet.
And Robbie didn't slap. He didn't jump up and down. He just held his ground right that time and did a very good job and forced Sarakas to turn the ball over.
And let's see, Byron Cook going to get a break now, so that'll put Andre Scott at the point guard. So it's Lane, Scott, Hickey, Hamilton, Burton on the floor for the Vikings, who have a 1-point lead, 8-7, 13:58 to go in the half. Lane to Hamilton. Hamilton takes it free throw line, cut off there by Fleming. Vikings running a little motion weave out front. Hickey gives it off to Andre Scott. Back it comes to Lane. Lane, top of the key, dumps it into Robbie. Head and shoulder fake, 7-footer, no good. Another foul. Sarakas, big long arms up in the air saying, who, me?
And boy, it's been the Robbie Burton show so far as Jordan Bowling, the sophomore out of Crane, gets set to check into the Viking lineup right now. But that's going to put Robbie, who already has 6 points in the game, put him back on the stripe for 2 shots here with just under 14 minutes left in the game in the first half.
Messersmith will come back in. Free throw is good. 9-7, Robbie Burton. Joe Williams will come back in. He's in for Burton.
Yeah, Robbie has all but 2 of the Viking points so far. Andre Scott had the other with that jump shot.
9-7 Valley. Number 44 lets this one fly. Spins in and out. He's 3 for 4 from the line. 9-7. Vikings with a 2-point lead. Anakwe, they try to trap him, and he gets it to Fleming. Back to Anakwe to avoid that trap. 13:25 to go in the half. Anakwe Now pass to the low block, stepping in is Robbie Burton for the steal. Anticipated the pass and took it away.
I think Robbie thinks he's a senior today, stepping up for senior day. He's only a junior, and we're thankful.
We'll take it. Here's Hamilton. Got away with a little push off in the lane. Tried to get it down to Robbie, and the ball was knocked away. Anakwe comes the other way, 3-on-2. Down it comes to Messersmith, and he drives in and scores.
Yeah, good job by Jonathan Anakwe to lead the break that time. And now Anakwe reaches around. Andre Scott fouls him in the backcourt. That will be a non-shooting foul. That'll be team foul number 5 on Benedictine.
More importantly, that's the second foul on Anakwe, so he's going to take a break. Joe Williams comes in. Good job by Robbie Burton. He checks out. He has 7 points.
We would not mind seeing Jonathan Anakwe sit as much time as we possibly can.
He and Harris both. Brody Thompson, young man out of Republic, comes in. Hickey will inbound the ball right in front of us. Fikes and the Ravens are tied. 12:52 to go.
Zone defense by Benedictine, looks like.
Switching that defense up a little bit. Brody Thompson around the screen. Gives it off to Andre. He says, I'll crank a 3 and hit it. Andre Scott playing with more and more confidence on the offensive end. 12-9 Valley. Harris back into the game. Off to Fleming. Fleming hands it now to Austin Eckert, who checked in. Now Sean Fleming with it. Kicks it into the corner. Here's a 3 on the way for the tie, and that one's good. Eckert just coming into the game. Austin Eckert buries that one, tied at 12. You don't have to warm up before you take that first shot, do you?
No, he kind of hid in the corner that time, got open and nailed that baseline shot.
Andre, another 3 goes down. This one a little deeper, about 2 or 3 feet further out. He has 2 in a row. He has 8, and it's 15-12. Vikings with a lead. Harris free throw line. Looks and finds Fleming. Dump it underneath Messersmith. Puts it up. Boy, a tough pass, and Messersmith did not put the ball on the floor. Put it off the glass and scored 15-14.
He's a player.
Brody Thompson, no-look pass, and he throws it right by Hickey.
I don't know what Brody was trying to do that time. Kind of an off-balance, just shoveled it across his body and threw it right into the Benedictine Benedictine bench. Usually Brody very steady, very consistent, but bad choice that time.
Yeah, tried just to get a little too cute, as they say, with a pass and threw it away. It's 15-14, Valley by 1, 11:32 to go. And we're setting another record here today. Chad Lance still has his sport coat on, and we're 9 minutes into this game. Harris just inside the three-point line gives Benedictine the lead. We should have a daily game bet on when Lance throws the sport coat
Usually
down.
It's within 2 minutes after the start of the game.
It's 9 minutes in now. Vikings trail by 1, 16-15. Into the corner. Bowling's open. He'll try a 3. This one won't go. Messersmith goes high for the rebound, waits for a guard, gives it off to Fleming. John Fleming, 6'2 junior, down the middle, all the way to the rack with a floater. It's good. And a timeout taken by the Vikings, 18-15. 4 quick points by the Ravens, and they have the lead 18-15, 10:52 to go. They're very fundamentally sound, aren't they?
They are. Coach Ryan Moody does a good job. I think this is his 4th year at Benedictine. They won the regular season conference championship last year. Lost in the tournament championship game to Mid-America, but he's got them right back up there again. They're in second place right now, and just a very fundamental, very team-oriented style of play, and they're always tough to beat.
Here are the scores on the women's side today. Of course, Benedictine beat Valley 82-70. It was Peru over Culver, 60-56. Baker beat Evangel 59-52. And Mid-America in Fayette beat CMU. I have a score of 74-40.
So Mid-America, congratulations to Coach John Lewis with that win. They wrap up the regular season Heart of America Women's Championship, second time in 3 years.
And we'll talk about the standings at our next break. All right, Cook back into the game. Vikes down by 3. The coat's off, so I went about 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, he did well.
Here's Hamilton off to Cook at the top of the key. He'll probably watch this broadcast and say, "Why don't you pay attention to the game and not when I take my coat off?"
leave me and my wardrobe choices alone.
Connor Fleming picks up the foul. That's his first. It's 18-15. Andre Scott will inbound the ball. In back court. Gives it off to Cook. Cook to Hamilton. There's the lob underneath to Big Joe. Big Joe goes up with the left hand, missed it. Boy, nice move, just missed it. Went for his left hand like you're supposed to. Just shot a little hard off the backboard. Harris will push his way into the lane. Now back into the corner. Eckert, another three. Same spot, same result. 21-15. Look out, here come the Ravens.
Yeah, Austin Eckert, he could have been 6 inches away from where he was when he hit that last three.
Andre Scott goes all the way in on a charge. He just bowled right into the lane and ran right into Messersmith.
Yeah, Vikings not really in sync offensively right now. Really need to kind of get that rhythm back, and here comes Kyle Hickey back in. Andre's going to take a seat. Robbie Burton coming back in.
And Joe, you pointed this out early in the game. We have not called or even mentioned James Lane
Got to get James. James, 2 straight 32-point performances.
Yeah.
We have got to get him, at least get some touches.
Yeah, he's got to touch the ball and be a part of this offense, and right now he's not. The Vikes are down by 6, 21-15. 9:54 to go. Ravens, 6-point lead. Fisher back in. Chanuth back in. And he gives the ball back to Fisher. Left-handed guard underneath Messersmith. Reverse layup good. And this team's on a little run right now as Messersmith scores. It's 23-15, 8-point game. Robbie Burton down the middle. His little jump hook shot is good in the lane. Robbie says, I'll take over.
That was a tough shot. Robbie off balance that time. Flipped that one in. A nice little runner in the lane, and he's on fire right now. He's got, I've got him at 9 points already.
Average is 13.4 a game. Chanuth into the corner to Eckert. Now they try to get it low to Messersmith on the baseline. Knocked away by either Burton or Lane, but the ball still belongs to the Ravens with 21 on the shot clock, 9:17 game clock. Ravens will inbound. Look for Chanuth. Still looking. Throw it way in back court. And Chanuth makes over the shoulder catch. Now gives it to Fleming, or rather to Fisher. Fisher off to Harris. Harris, top of the key. Still dribbling the basketball into the corner to Eckert. Now he's going to try to drive, and he stepped out of bounds. He should have shot it. That was his spot.
Yeah. I guess he was standing out of bounds when he caught the ball, though, just not paying attention to where he was on the court. So the Vikings forced the turnover. 9:05 left to play. Vikings trail it by 2 possessions, 23-17.
Fast-moving first half. After some early fouls, everything's really kind of settled down here. Here's Cook, tries to wrap it inside, a wrap-around bounce pass inside to Burton. The ball was kicked by Eckert. So the Vikings will have it, 24 on the shot clock.
Need to get into offensive rhythm right now. Only 17 points here in the first 11 minutes of the game.
Cook the inbound, gets it into Hamilton. Hamilton takes it in strong. Blocked by Messersmith. That's his second block of the game. However, Hickey comes away with it. He'll go in. He can't score. That shot was altered by Messersmith and may be hurt. Gives it off to Harris, and now Messersmith is in some pain.
I think Brad hit his head on the floor. They call a timeout, and I think he banged his head. Looks like Messersmith hurt maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's coming out.
He and Brad Hamilton, I think maybe they butted heads in there. I'm not sure what happened, but both Brad rubbing his head, now Messersmith's coming to the bench. And I tell you, I have not seen a player in this conference cause as much havoc on the defensive end inside as Julian Messersmith.
Yeah, he really can.
He's just a tremendous shot blocker. Great timing, and every shot the Vikes take inside is being altered somewhat right now.
Christian Hatterley comes in his place. Hatterley, 6'7". Fisher into the corner. Eckert misses this one. Now he was on the right side, not on the left corner.
Yeah, wrong side.
Ball goes out of bounds. Will be Viking ball.
And Brad's still rubbing his head, so I think he and Messersmith must have butted the tops of each other's head.
Brad says, I'm staying in the game. Lane gives it off to Hickey. 23-17. Ravens with the lead, 8:23 to go. Here's a pass underneath. Jump hook. There's James Lane.
There we go, James. And maybe that'll get him jump started right now to make it a 4-point game.
Vikes have scored the last 4, 23-19. Harris, top of the circle, swings it to Fisher. His shot won't go. And crashing the boards, Hatterley. He knocks Hamilton down. No call. Vikings have the ball.
Brad says, I'm not sure I like senior day. It's pretty rough out here.
Pretty rough out here so far. Hickey with the basketball. Looks for a screen from Lane. Gets it. Spins around that screen. Stops the dribble. Lobs it into Robbie. 15-footer. Line drive shot. No good.
That might be the easiest shot Robbie's had yet. He missed that one.
Harris the other way. And he'll stop at the free throw line. Gives it off to Fisher. Skip pass. It's taken away by Hickey. Hickey anticipated that cross-court pass. Hamilton now will drive inside, go all the way to the rack, put it up, it won't go in, but he's fouled. Well, he went in, flipped that thing up, it bounced around, it wouldn't go down, but he'll shoot 2.
When Brad Hamilton starts to drive, he's fearless. He's not going to back down from anybody. That time he went in amongst the trees. He didn't back off. He went up strong, and he draws the 2-shot foul. If he can knock 2 down here, he can pull the Vikings back within 2 with 7:29 left in the half.
Harris picked up his 2nd foul. First one is good. Well, Hamilton's in the book. Hamilton averages 11.9. Robbie comes out. Jordan Bowling back into the contest. And Sean Fleming will come in. He's going to replace Eckert.
Eckert gave that team a lift. Yep. Nailed 2 threes from the left baseline, so a couple of big shots.
First free throw was good. Here's the second one by Hamilton. He got them both. And there's been a timeout called. So Hamilton gets 2 free throws. Vikes on a little run here, a little 6-0 run, and it's 23 to, or rather they're on a 8-2 run, and they're behind only by 2 now, 23-21.
Yeah, Vikes were down by what, as many as 8 not too long ago, but they've come roaring back. And this is a very tough physical game right now. You just kind of have the feeling this thing's going to go right down to the wire.
Here's the standings on the women's side then. Congratulations to John Lewis and his club. With the tiebreaker, they will win the conference title and be the number 1 seed. Benedictine 13-3. They have a 2-game lead on Baker now. Baker 11-5. They're alone in 3rd. And in 4th place, Culver Stockton. They're 10-6. They have a 2-game lead on Valley. Valley 8-8. Then Graceland 6-10. So probably the Vikings will be in that 5th spot. Probably. You never know. There could be something else happening there. But right now they've pretty much solidified themselves in that 5th spot. Graceland 6-10. And then the fight's still on as Central Methodist and Peru are both 5-11. They're battling for those home games in the playoff spot. Or the
Peru
spot.
State playing much better right now. They won 2 of their last 3, I believe.
Evangels 4-12 and Avila is 3-13. So
and I think with that loss today, the Vikings can't catch Baker. Is that right?
I don't believe so.
I think there were 3 games back with only 2 to play.
Yeah. So 4th place, the only thing you can do is catch Culver for 4th. Into the contest now for the Ravens is Yvonne Clark. Where's number 14? Give it back out to Fleming. Fleming looks for Chanuth. Now Clark work it down underneath. And let's see, Bowling and Christian Hatterley were tied up. And I think they're going to call Bowling for the foul.
Yeah, Jordan got the foul. That'll be his first. That's team foul number 6 on the Vikings. So both teams will be in the 1-1 from here on out.
Vikings staying there man-to-man even during the baseline inbounds play. Chanuth off to Fleming. Fleming's going to drive, kick it back into the corner, wide open 3, and it's good. And what's in that corner? Something in that left corner that they like. Chanuth bangs that one down. And
Coach Chad Lance needs to get one of his bench players to stand in that corner. That's right in front of our bench.
26-21, a 5-point game. Give and go to Lane. Strong move in the lane. He's bumped, fouled. He'll have to earn him at the line.
Yeah, there was that patented hook of James Lane's. He got into the paint. Lane got into the lane and almost hit that shot. Missed the shot, but draws the 2-shot foul. So
I think they called it on Hatterley, I believe. His first
you're
foul.
Right. You are right.
6:36 to go. Hickey comes out. Jake Fletcher sees his first action of the afternoon.
Come on, James. Need a couple right here.
First one by Lane. Rattles in and out. So the Vikings cannot convert at the line. They are now 5 out of 7 from the free throw line in this game. Clark, top of the key. Off to Fisher. Fisher fakes the 3. Now hooks it underneath to Hatterley, and another grab and another foul on Jordan Bowling.
Yep.
That's his second. And this will put Hatterley at the free throw line. Robbie Burton coming right back in. 6:21 to go.
And Jordan said what defensive players love to say when they get a foul called. I didn't touch him.
I didn't touch him. I didn't move. It wasn't me. Gals game. A lot of free throws in that one. That went to Benedictine today. So they're pretty much in second place. Free throw, no good. And Jake Fletcher gets the rebound off the miss by Hatterley. They're 2 out of 5 from the line are the Ravens. Cook down the middle, all the way, has that shot blocked. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Ravens. Hatterley got that one, or Chanuth, one of the two. 6:09 to go in the half, 26-21.
Need to get Brad Hamilton some looks from beyond the arc.
Yep. Lane gives it out to Fletcher. Jake, back to Hamilton. Hamilton, baseline. James Lane, there he goes with that jump hook. Got it.
Yes, money in the bank right there. Money in the bank.
Starts going into the lane and spins to the baseline. Little jump hook, 26-23. I don't know why more people won't shoot that shot, because there's no way you're going to block that
No,
shot.
you're not. You can't.
Clark.
Take his arm off.
Yeah, Clark off to Chanuth. Out of Fleming, back into the corner to Chanuth. On the right side, Chanuth, free throw line. Fleming drives in. That one's blocked by Robbie. Fleming thought, I've got a nice, easy left-handed layup, and all of a sudden, flying across the lane, Robbie Burton, a man from St. John's, Antigua, slapped it out of bounds.
He goes swat.
That goes into the gray curtain on the south end of the Burns Center floor.
Need a stop right here, Vikings do. 5.5 minutes left in the half.
Clark to inbound, close to a 5-second call. Hatterley gives it out to Chanuth. 10 on the shot clock, 5:29 first half, 26-23 Ravens. Fleming for 3, banks it in, but an offensive foul. He banked it in, won't count.
Shanath's going to get that foul, I think.
Chanuth picks up the
foul. They pronounce that Chanuth? Is that how you pronounce that? Okay.
Yep.
All right, so he picks up the foul. That's his first. So Vikings down by 3, get it back with just over 5 minutes left to play in the half.
26-23. Vikings have led, but not for very many seconds in this game. Fletcher works the left side. Hickey, top of the key. Down to the right now to Cook. Cook around the screen. Hickey, baseline Lane. Good ball movement. Hickey now gets trapped in the corner. Back to Lane. Open for 3. Tie the game. James Lane has 7.
There we go. There we go. Good to see James knock down that tray. He's a good three-point shooter, and good to see him get that look from beyond the arc.
He is playing with confidence. Fisher. Team had an 8-point lead. Fisher, top of the key, into the corner. They fake the 3, now try to drive. Vikings doing a good job defensively. Chanuth gives it back to Fisher. 4:35 to go, 13 on the clock. Fleming, John Fleming working against Fletch. Turns, left side, misses the shot. Fletcher with a rebound. He waits for traffic to clear, and now we'll bring it up the left side. Vikings to take the lead here. Round is Cook. He's going to take it left side all the way to the basket. He's going to be fouled. He hits the deck. He'll be zapping all right. He's going to go to the line to shoot a 1-on-1.
You know, really, you probably look at it, Byron Cook probably plays as many minutes as any Viking. He's out there quite a bit. Of course, he's the point guard. He doesn't score that much, but he does a very good job of setting the offense, getting the ball to the right place, and now he's going to be on the line for, should be 2 shots. That's team foul number 10 against Benedictine. So Byron, the freshman out of Fort Worth, should have 2 right here.
4:16 to go. First one.
Come on, Byron. Come on. Got to hit these.
He is just a, wow. Yeah, he's not a very good free throw shooter. Just 39%.
Wow, that's not too good.
I'm looking at that a couple times. That's it.
Come on, let's make this one of those ones you do hit. Nope.
But the ball is tipped by James Lane. Vikings get it after the 2 misses. That free throw shooting is a lot of that's mental.
A lot of it is.
Good technique. Once you get the technique, now Cook drives baseline. He's fouled. He's
try it again.
Try it again.
Be back there again. We got to hit a couple of these here.
Fisher picked up the foul. That's his first. Looking at minutes played, of course, you remember the first few games of the year, Cook did not start.
Yeah.
Booker started until he got hurt. But James Lane has, the most minutes is Hamilton, 780 minutes. Lane, 762. Next one's no good. Boy, now that basket looks like a little thimble up there. Took 0 for 3. But they're the only 2 players over 700 minutes, Hamilton and Lane.
Come on, Byron. Let's give us a lead. Give us a 1-point lead here. Nope.
No, you could see. Let that one go. It won't go. Nope. 26 all, 3:57 to go in the first half. I'm not laughing at him. I just know it's tough to do.
Yeah, it's tough. He's a good player, though. Very good player. Done a great job for this Viking team this year.
Here's a drive from the left side. No good. Tip, no good. And fight for the loose ball. Who's got it in the corner? It looks like the Ravens come somehow in the corner. Fleming passed it behind his back underneath to Messersmith, who laid it in. What a play. 28-26. 3:26 to go in the half. Cook at the top of the key tried to force a pass, but it's knocked away. Fletcher has it. Back to Hickey. Thompson will come in, so will Brad Hamilton. 12 on the shot clock. Long three. Fletcher got it. Attaboy. Jake Fletcher nails a three as the shot clock winds down. Vikes are up 29-28.
Not the first time Jake has given us some big threes. He did that over at Graceland a couple weeks ago, and he's a good outside shooter.
Now almost a steal by James Lane. Here's Fleming, Sean Fleming. Looks underneath, and Lane does take it away. Now Messersmith fouls him. Messersmith didn't like the fact that Lane took it away from Fleming. He reached in, grabbed him on the arm, and we'll walk the other way and shoot free throws.
Yeah, come on, James. Let's see if you can knock two down. Vikings have a 1-point lead right now. I think 3 points would be our biggest lead of the game, wouldn't it?
Yep, 29-28 right now. 2:44 to go in the half. Very physical game, you know it's going to be that. Lane is 0 for 1 from that free throw line.
Come on, he's going to hit 2 this time.
And he'll eye it, fire it, and connects. He has 8 points. He has 8, Robbie has 9. Hickey checks out. Brody Thompson is in. Fletcher's still out there. Hamilton's on the floor. Joe Williams. And the man at the line, James Lane. Next one is good. Smooth James Lane. 31-28, Vikes up by 3. Full court pressure, and here's a steal by Hamilton. Hamilton drives in, way up good. The Vikings get a steal and a bucket, and they're up 33-28. Again, the press.
Great job applying the press. Good job by Coach Lance.
Fleming ahead to Harris as they beat the pressure this time, but the Vikes got the steal. Here is Harris, tries to spin in the lane, and he walked with it. And give Joe Williams credit. He came over to help defensively, did not leave his feet, and he forced the turnover.
Vikes on a nice run now. We were down, I think, by about 4 or 5 points, and now we're up by 5. So they really kind of taken charge, and Coach Ryan Moody of Benedictine wants a timeout.
Big run by the Vikings here late in the first half to go up 33-28. The Vikings average 74 points a game, Benedictine 68, but Vikes give up 69. Benedictine only 60 points a game,
very good.
So they are a good defensive
team, and they play hard, and they Benedictine wants to get you into a half-court offense. They want you to come down and set your offense. They feel if they can make you do that, they've got a better-than-average chance of winning. Vikings like that more wide-open style, so I think whoever can dictate the tempo in this game is going to end up on top.
Well, Evangel has a 2-game lead over Benedictine going into today's play. Evangel is at Baker. And Baker could upset them, but odds are Evangel will win that game. So this is a big ball game. If the Vikings can win today, and Evangel wins, they win the conference.
Yeah. Well, the Evangel, speaking of them, they will be here on Thursday night, and that's always a good game when the Vikes and the Crusaders hook up.
Comes some zone defense by the Ravens. Vikings work to lane, baseline jump hook.
Oh, there's money in the bank. There's that shot.
11 points for Lane. He says, I'm going to pick up where I left off the last 2 games. 35-28, Vikes by 7. Under 2 minutes to go. Harris top of the key, off to Fisher. Fisher swings in the corner. James Lane stepped in front of Fleming, grabbed it, but was standing out of bounds, but he did not let him complete that pass.
Keep doing that, James. Clock. People are going to be yelling MVP, MVP.
He's right there. He is right there. He's certainly a first-teamer. Anakwe back into the game with those 2 fouls. Fires a pass to the right elbow to Fleming. Now back top of the key. Harris was open. They left him open, and he buried the 3. He has 5. Big shot there, 35-31, a minute 37 to go in the half.
John Harris, pretty good player. He averages almost 13 points a game. Leading scorer on this team, and he's a good one.
Hamilton underneath the Fletcher. Jay gets in the lane, tried to sneak that one under the left forearm of Messersmith. Couldn't do it. Now a foul and a fight for the rebound.
That ball another 2 inches. It would have rolled in there, but it came up a little bit short. Now that's going to put Messersmith on the line the other way. So He'll have should just be a 1-and-1. Yep. That's only 18 fouls on the Vikings.
Robbie Burton will check in. Messersmith at the free throw line here to shoot the 1-and-1. That was the second foul, as I mentioned, on Williams. Messersmith is a 64% free throw shooter. And he connects on that one. As a team, the Ravens shoot 71%. Messersmith now has 9 points, looking to get into double digits. Eckert back in. 1:25 to go in the first half.
You wonder why this team won the conference last year. Well, I'll tell you why, because they had Messersmith inside, and they also had Charlie Walrath inside. Those two guys were both monsters in the interior.
Messersmith hits them both. He has 10. 35-33. Just like that, here comes the run of that 7-point leads down to 2 after the 3 by Harris and the 2 free throws by Messersmith.
Need a bucket here.
Fletcher off to Brody Thompson. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher left side. James Lane top of the key. Brody has it right wing. Round a screen. Back to Fletcher. Tries another 3. This one won't go. And high for the rebound, Messersmith. The 6'8 senior pulls it down. A minute to go in the first half. Ravens looking to tie or take the lead on this possession. Clark works right side. Back out it comes to Eckert. There's the lob underneath the Messersmith. Pass a little too tall, but I think Rafi knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, good backside help that time. Jake Fletcher coming over from the weak side, and good D, or otherwise Messersmith had a very easy basket.
Clark will inbound underneath. Looks in for Messersmith. Still looking. Throws it way back by midcourt to Fisher. Hamilton went for the steal. Didn't get there. 15 on the shot clock. 44 on the game clock. Ryan Moody saying, let's back things out a little bit. Now here comes Clark around the screen. Looks inside. Kicks it off to Fisher. Skip pass back to the left side to Eckert for 3. Won't go. Rebound. Burton took it away from Messersmith. The Vikings have to take a shot. There's about a 7-second difference between the shot clock. No, the clock is off
turned
now.
off. Let's go for that last shot with a 2-point lead.
So the Vikes now can work for the last shot. Brody Thompson looks over to the sideline, takes it right side, gives it off to Fletcher. Now 7, now 6. Here's Lane. Off it comes to Brody. The Vikings got to get a shot. And Lane forces one up. Didn't get a good shot.
No, they didn't.
Did not get much of a look when they had the ball with 22 seconds to go. But they do have the lead, 35-33. We'll be back with the scoring and more from the Burns Center in just a moment.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Missouri. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back to the Burns Center, and Tim Dixon joins us. And Coach, tough loss today to the Ravens, 82-70, but my goodness, it was a parade to the foul line, wasn't it?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I've never complained about officials, but it's sad when the officials take the game away from you. I mean, it's really a sad thing. And they did. And the disparity, was 56 free throws to our 15. And I'm going to call the assigner officials and just complain. I mean, we've had this official before, and I'll look a little bit closer at how many fouls that he called against both teams, and it'll be clearly obvious that he called his whistles were against us and hardly any against Benedictine. So,
but, Coach, you were down most of the first half, came back, and I thought really had some key plays. DJ got her offense going, hit a big three-point shot. That helped a lot. And you brought Andressa off the bench today with Paris starting. And boy, she had 19 points. We've talked about her. That young lady is quite an offensive player.
Yeah, and we're glad to have her. We talked to her this week. We said, hey, listen, for us to be successful, you got to score. So, and she took it to heart, and she had 19. So, and I'm glad to have her back next year, and I'm looking forward to, just moving on from this loss. And like I say, I mean, I know it kind of sounds like sour grapes, but hats off to Benedictine. They hit some shots when they needed to, but 36 points at the free throw line. I mean, that's the game. And so, to be honest, here's what it comes down to. If we played them again in the conference tournament, if I'm Benedictine, I'd be very worried that if they run into us, because I think it's hard to beat someone 3 times in a row, and I think we'll definitely get them.
Coach, they had 17 offensive rebounds. I know that's something you work about. That's the frustrating part, isn't it?
Yeah, well, rebounding is not something you can teach, to be quite honest. It comes from heart, and you got to have kids that really love to rebound. And so, we do with what we do. I mean, we're not a great rebounding team, and we know that, and so we make up for it in other areas. So, where they out-rebounded us, they did a great job. That's kind of their strength, and but I'm glad we are who we are, to be quite honest.
Well, Mid-America Nazarene is the #1 seed now with their win today. They went into Fayette and won 74-40. So they are the #1 seed because they defeated Benedictine twice. Benedictine 13-3. They appears will be the #2. Baker still has an outside chance, I think. They're 11-5 in third, then Culver, and then the Vikings. So pretty much wrapped up 5th place, but still an outside chance to get to 4th if you win a couple of ball games.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, what you saw tonight was Viking basketball. It was hard defense. You look at the stat line, we did really good holding them defensively. We shared the ball. We had 3 kids in double figures, and we got away from kind of what we did at Peru and Culver, and we got back to the team aspect of it, and we had 11 or 12 assists, and that's us. And so I'm excited. The kids are not really down. They just know we let another one get away from us, and it'll even out again for us.
Yep.
And we're going to be. And here's the thing, guys. I mean, we're going to be dangerous in the conference tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And I think anybody that draws us, they're like, holy crap, we got to play Missouri Valley.
Yeah. Well, you're 8-8 now in the league, and you own the tiebreaker. Well, you did over Baker, but you can't catch them. But Culver, and I don't know where the next tiebreaker would be. We won't worry about that. But Evangel coming in here Thursday, they've had some injuries. You got them there. You get that one and kind of get on a little. What you really want to do is get on a little bit of a roll before the tournament now.
Yeah, and not looking ahead to anything, but Evangel is going to be a great matchup, and hopefully we play just like we did today. And if we do, again, we only had 10 turnovers, and that's us. We take care of the ball pretty well, and so if we don't turn the ball over and shoot like we did today, hopefully we can pull out the win on Thursday and then go on the road to Baker, where I like our matchup. I think we match up really well against them too. So I'm hoping to go 2-2. Sorry, 2-0 the next week.
Yeah. All right, Coach, we'll see you Thursday right here.
Sounds good. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
All right, Tim Dixon joins us, and again, the women's score final was 82-70. And he's talking about free throw percentages. The Ravens for the game were 36 out of 53 from the free throw line, 67-70%. The Vikings didn't shoot very good free throw line, only 47%, but they were only 7 out of 15. So Andressa Augusto led the way. She had 19 points. But, Joe, again, the big stat in that women's game, other than free throws, was the rebounding. 58-34, the Vikings were out-rebounded. And Benedictine had 17 offensive rebounds. That's tough to overcome.
Well, they're a good ball club. I mean, we talked earlier, they're 13-3 for a reason. And, Benedictine is one of those teams. They're always near the top of the conference standings. Every year they've been right there, and they're there again this year. And Coach Chad Folsom has a good team. Again, he does a good job. And, the Vikings are really proud of the way they came back, though, down by 13 points to come back and actually take a 1-point lead before finally giving it away or letting them win the game. Not letting them win the game, but having Benedictine make that good run at the end to win the game. But I thought the Vikings fought real well. I thought they played hard. They came back, gave the people here in Senior Day a lot to enjoy, and still got a lot of season left.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go over the scoring of this first half.
Welcome to the Maya Miguel Challenge. Meet Maya and the gang.
Oh, hi, I'm Maya.
Maya and her friends want you to get up and play, because it's always more fun to be active.
There's mountain biking, boating and fishing, mountain climbing and spelunking. Let's get started.
Get ready to take the Maya and Miguel Challenge.
Let's see.
Just go to letsmove.gov and look for Maya and Miguel. You'll find tons of fun activities that'll help keep you healthy and active. Muy activo. You can also check out healthy recipes to try with your family, play cool games, and get free downloads. So come hang out with Maya, Miguel, and the whole gang.
Go!
Remember, whether you play sports, run, dance, or jump in place, just get up and play at least an hour a day. And don't forget, eat healthy to be your best. Maya and Miguel will show you how at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and the Department of Health and Human Services.
Well, let's take a look at the scoring. I've got a little discrepancy of the scoring. I know that Andre Scott had 8 points. He had a couple threes plus another field goal. They only have him with 6.
I think he's got 8,
Yeah,
I really believe.
He's got 8. How about, what do you have of the other scores?
Well, I got James Lane leading the way with 11,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what I
Robbie
have, too.
Alberton
That's
with
what I
9.
have,
Robbie
too.
really got the Vikes off to a good start offensively. Andre Scott with 8. Brad Hamilton with 4, and Jake Fletcher hit that one triple. He has 3. So that's what I've got. Anyway, I've been told I'm unofficial many times.
Yeah,
So
this is unofficial, but we'll keep it that way and see how they change it at the end of the ball. If they want to give James another point and he gets 40 today,
that's okay.
That'd be fine.
Hey, all we care about is what the score on that
That's right.
board right in the middle of the floor has when it's over.
Jalen Messersmith has 10. He's the only Raven in double figures. 3 for Jake Chanuth. Brett Fisher has a couple. Anakwe with just 3 points, very quiet. Harris has 5. Eckert, 2 threes. He has 6. 2 apiece for Sean Fleming and Raviel Zarakis. They both have a couple of points. From the free throw line, 4 out of 7 were the Ravens. The Vikings needed to shoot a little better. Just 7 out of 13, barely 50%. And rebounding, pretty close. The Vikings had 13, 18 rebounds for the Ravens. For field goal percentages, Valley shot 48%, 50% for the Ravens, 12 out of 24. They were also 50% from beyond the arc, 5 out of 10. And pretty much mirrored Valley. Valley, 12 out of 25. They took one more shot. They also were 4 out of 8 from beyond the arc. So pretty clean first half.
Well, I still think it's going to boil down. If we can speed them up in the second half, if we can speed them up, we're going to win. If they can slow us down, they're going to win. I think that's going to be the whole secret, is who can dictate this tempo in the second half.
All right, let's take a look at the other games that are going on in the league. Mid-America's at CMU today. Mid-America, it's 7-8 right now. CMU is at 8-7, just a game behind the Vikings. Of course, the Vikings have the tiebreaker as they won both games against CMU. So we'll keep a close eye on that ball game, and we'll probably be about the last game done today. So some of those scores will be coming in. Evangel is at Baker today. Evangel's number 1 in the league. If they win and Valley wins, they clinch the title today, as they have a 2-game lead. If they win, they may. I'm not sure how they and Benedictine came out. I don't have the schedule there, but they're getting close to another conference title.
That Benedictine beat them the last game of the first round. They play next week in Springfield. Benedictine beat them in Atchison at the end of the first round.
So, that's right. So there still is a shot there that they could, if Benedictine wins and Evangel loses, there's a shot Benedictine still could be number 1.
Well, one thing we don't want, we've got Benedictine here today, we've got Evangel here Thursday. We don't want anybody to clinch a championship on our court.
Right. There you go. So we knock off Benedictine, and Evangel, if they can, Baker could give them a run today, who knows. Culver is at Peru today, and Culver, they gave the Vikings all they wanted, and all of a sudden there you have Culver at 8-7, tied with CMU, just a game behind the Vikings. So we talked to Jack Schrader. He knows what it's all about. They still have a lot to play for. Anything can happen here. Anyway, from 2-7.
Here's the question of the day: how many points will be scored in that Culver-Peru State game?
Man,
I'd say over 200 would be my guess.
Oh yeah, I'd say they both hit the century mark there. And then Mid-America, I mentioned they were at CMU today. CMU just a game behind. So a lot to play for. If Valley can win today and Evangel wins, they'll clinch the title. But if Benedictine wins and Evangel loses, the Ravens still have a shot to be the #1 seed. So there's a lot going on with 2.5 games to go in the regular season. We'll be back.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Well, we're just seconds away from getting the second half underway. It should be a thrilling second half. The Vikings lead at 35-33. Nobody really in foul trouble for the Vikings. Andre Scott, Jordan Bowling, Joe Williams with 2 apiece. And for Benedictine, John Harris and Zarakis each have 2. And Anakwe has 2 fouls, but that's it. So 20 minutes. Could be pretty exciting, Joe.
Well, it will be. And again, a big game for both teams. If the Vikings can win this one, we've said this several times, if they can win, they'll move into a tie for second place in the standings with Benedictine and possibly Peru. If Peru wins today, if Benedictine wins, though, they'll have a two-game cushion on the Vikings, and that'll make it tough for them to be caught with only 2 games left after today. So this is a big half for the Vikings. They played well the first half, lead at 35-33. Let's see if we can take charge. Let's get a good run to start this second half.
Yeah, I believe the Vikings will have the ball, too, to get the second half underway.
Yeah, it's going to be James Lane, Byron Cook, Brad Hamilton, Joe Williams, and Andre Scott, the original 5 that started the game for the Vikings. So Vikes get the ball. Big second half. We're underway. Ahead to Williams, head of the key, back to Byron Cook. Byron will yo-yo between the circles, set the offense. Gets it to Andre, the Fort Worth senior. Cuts to the baseline. Now gets a return pass on the left wing. Deep 3 by Andre. Missed it. Offensive rebound. Comes up to Williams. Joe tries to go inside, throws it up, left it short. Lane the rebound, and he's fouled. Hit a basket and one. As James Lane got the rebound. Messersmith got a piece of it, but also got a piece of James's arm, and that ball goes in. So James Lane right at Messersmith gets the 3-point play, a chance to give the Vikings a 5-point lead, and that's 13 points in the game now for James.
And he is smiling. He's having fun playing today.
James' shot, he'll eye it. First shot in the air, missed it. So James got the basket, missed the free throw. The Viking lead is 4. We played 30 seconds here in the second half. Now pressure by the Vikings. Anakwe gets it across, gets it head of the key to Harris. Likes in that man-to-man defense. Outside Anakwe. Now comes around a Chanute screen, puts up a jumper. Anakwe's shot no good. Nice screen out by the Vikings. Hamilton gets a rebound. Here come the Vikes quickly into the forecourt. Want to speed the tempo up if they can here this second half. Cook to the baseline. Now Byron stop and go. Goes up over Messersmith. Not a good decision, I don't think, but James Lane gets it and puts it in. Nice penetration, though, by Byron Cook. He had the shot blocked, but nice job by the freshman, Byron Cook. They're going right down the baseline, went right at Messersmith, had the shot blocked, but Lane put it back in to give the Vikes a 6-point lead. Might be their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, he said that wasn't a shot, that was a pass off the lane. They had a 7-point lead earlier.
7. Chanute misses a 3. Rebound Hamilton. Now they can take their biggest lead if they can get a bucket here. 39-33, Vikings on top. Lane thinks about a 3, instead into Hamilton. Joe flips it up, and Joe's fouled by Messersmith. And that'll be his third as Jalen Messersmith picks up his second foul in about the last 35 seconds. So he's going to take a seat. And Connor Fleming and also Ryan Sarakas are going to check in for Benedictine. It's going to put Big Joe, Joe Williams, Joe the senior, Joe Hales from Frisco, Texas on the line for 2 shots right here. First shot by Big Joe, good. So Big Joe buries the first one. He'll have one more. That's Joe's first point of the game. And he can give the Vikings their biggest lead if he can hit this free throw. Senior out of Frisco will have one more here. Second shot in the air. It's perfect, so Joe Williams knocks down both. So good job by Big Joe. He'll come out of the lineup. Robbie Burton checks back in for the Vikings, but the Vikings have scored the first 6 points of the second half. They lead at 41-33.
Good, great start. Now let's just keep working on the defensive end.
Pressure by the Vikes. That press has paid dividends, Ken. Anakwe out to Fisher, jump shot. Fisher missed the 3. Rebound, Robbie Burton. Here come the Vikings. Byron Cook yo-yos into the middle. Byron has it taken away now by Anakwe. Here comes Anakwe the other direction. And Andre Scott, great play by Andre as Andre got onto the right side of Jonathan Anakwe. Didn't block the shot, but knocked it out of bounds. That would have been a breakaway layup otherwise. So Benedictine keeps the ball. Just under 18 minutes to play in the game. Vikings up by 8.
I think Byron Cook needs to be careful on those drives in the lane. He's going after those big guys. Yeah. It's hard for him to do anything in there. He's better when he distributes the ball on the outside.
Drives in, then dishes off. Yeah. He does a very good job of penetrating. All right. Benedictine with the ball. Harris out. Now taken away by Lane. Here comes Lane with Fleming on him, and James loses the ball out of bounds. Wow. James had Connor Fleming on his hip, but tried to go up, let the ball slip out of the hands, out of bounds. That would have been big. That could have given the Vikings a double-digit lead here with the 17:42 left.
Yeah, he's trying to switch it from his right to his left hand. Coming in from the left side, just lost it.
Now John Harris drives in with the left hand, puts it up and in. Nice strong move that time by John Harris. He's a pretty good player. He's a junior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. He flips it in with the left hand. He's got 7 in the game. Trims the Viking lead down to 6. Now Cook into the middle, flips it up, missed it, rebound, Burton, and Robbie missed it, but he's fouled on the stick back. So once again, Byron Cook penetrates right down the middle, missed the shot, but Robbie Burton there to clean up the glass, and Robbie will be on the line for 2 shots as Brody Thompson, I think, is going to check in for Byron Cook.
Byron doing a good job getting in there. Good job by Ravi as well. Let's see if he can knock these free throws down.
Ravi tonight from the line, a perfect 3 out of 3. He has 9 points. He really got the Vikings jump-started in the first half. First shot by the junior out of St. John's and Tig was good. So Ravi now in double figures with 10. As we said, Thompson comes in. Byron Cook takes a seat. One more shot for the big guy, Ravi Burton, who stands 6'7". He'll try to give the Vikings once again an 8-point lead, and he does. So Ravi continues his perfect night. He's 5 out of 5 from the stripe. Vikings up 43-35. Now pressure. There's that press again. Anakwe to Fisher. Fisher guarded outside by Brad Hamilton. Comes around a screen, gives it back to Harris. Harris comes around a Sarakas screen. Now puts up a long jumper from the head of the key. This one pinballs out, and Sarakas goes over Brody Thompson's back and gets a rebound. I think they're going to call a foul on Brody, say that Brody whacks hold of Sarakas on the offensive rebound. So Brody picks up his first foul, and that's going to be a non-shooting foul. So Benedictine down by 8 will inbound into their own bucket. Brody didn't have much of a chance there against the 6'10 Sirakas.
They throw it all the way in the backcourt to Harris. Brody almost got that one.
Onekwe, nice pass to Harris. Underneath, Sirakas throws up a runner inside. Good ball movement that time by Benedictine. They got the ball to the big man, Rafael Sirakas. He makes it a 6-point game. Lane lobs to Burton. Ravi right over Sirakas. Missed it. Offensive rebound, Andre Scott, and he's fouled.
How about that shot?
Andre Scott came off the backside. Burton missed the jump shot. Andre came off the left wing. Just tried to flip it up with the left hand, and by doing that, should have 2 free throws here.
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be a shot.
Oh, they're not.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
That was a shot. He was trying to tip that ball in. That was a shot.
Absolutely, it was.
The officials are going to argue about it now, but he grabbed that to the left side, and he was trying to tip that thing in.
Yeah, he was. No doubt about it. He got rid of the ball. He released the ball.
No doubt that was a shot.
Yeah, that should be 2 shots for Andre Scott. I'm not sure if we're going to win this argument, though. We'll just have to see.
I guess they're going to give him the shot.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, that's the right call, I think.
Yeah, it is because, he was trying to tip it in, and they had. I said, what a shot because they were holding his right arm, and he just all with the left hand tipped it toward the basket.
So Andre, the senior out of Fort Worth, Texas, with 8 points so far, will have 2 free throws right here. With 16:35 left. First shot, good. So Andre knocks down the first. He can give the Vikings an 8-point lead if he can knock down this second one. Second shot by the senior, no good. Pinball's out. So Andre gets 1 out of 2. He's got 9 in the game. The Viking lead is 7 with 16.5 minutes left to play. Now they're going to call a kicking violation, I believe, against the Vikings. Vikings set up that press in the backcourt. And, Ken, that press has been very effective for the Vikings. I think it's helped speed this team up.
And I was going to say that. I think that's what Chad's doing. Not only maybe get a steal out, but you speed the game up. You speed them up. Don't let them walk up court and get into their half-court sets.
Harris gets it across, hounded by Brody Thompson. Harris stop and go. Back out to Anakwe. Anakwe stop and go dribble. Throws up a runner inside. Oh, man, how did he get that shot to go? Completely off balance. Had to put it over the top of Robbie Burton. Bounced around on the rim and came in. It's a 5-point game.
He and Harris are strong guards.
Burton, about a 14-foot jumper, no good. Rebound, Connor Fleming had it knocked away. And Andre Scott dives right over the top. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Boy, what hustle by Andre Scott. He just dove right over the top of you and I both.
Wow.
He spared us. Right. Somehow he went to the side of us, you know what?
Is he all right?
I was going to catch him, but he'd have taken me all the way back to the wall, I think, if that had.
Wow, he went flying.
Great. That's about as good a hustle play as I've ever seen anybody make. Andre Scott head first, and I'd give him on style points, I'd give him an 8 on that, I think.
He's fortunate he didn't get hurt. There's printers and computers and chairs and floor.
Wow. All right, outside Harris. Harris out to Anakwe. Anakwe lob wide open. Sirakas underneath. Somehow Rafael Sirakas got behind the defense. They got the lob pass to him. He laid it in. It's a 3-point game with 15.5 minutes left to play. Now Hamilton hit of the key. Hamilton to Andre. Andre drives inside and he puts it in. Basket and one. How did Andre Scott get that shot to go in? He went crashing off the left wing right down the middle. Got hammered about 3 times and somehow flipped it in off the glass. And I'll tell you what, he's playing with some passion right now. Those last 2 plays, and one where he dove over the bench, over to the scorer's table, and then that time crashing down the lane. What effort.
46-41. Yeah, he is playing like he's possessed. Let's keep it up.
First free throw by Andre. Perfect. So Andre completes the 3-point play. He's going to come out, and Kyle Hickey comes back into the lineup. What effort by Andre Scott.
Check all his body parts. Make sure they're still all attached.
Be sure there's nothing lying behind us on the floor here where he went diving across the scorer's table.
He just went flying across between myself and Andy. Computers, printers, everything else, and he's all right. That's good.
Now Harris into the middle, and one of the Vikings grabbed hold. I think Big Joe maybe is going to get the call. Joe's got that puzzled look on his face. I think that's going to come up on him.
That usually indicates you fouled.
Yeah, that's going to be Joe's 3rd foul. All right, 15-14 left to play. 47-41. The Vikings lead. They led at 35-33 at halftime. It's been a battle the entire way. Neither team able to open up too much of a gap here in this game. James Lane comes out now. Jordan Bowling goes into the lineup. So Benedictine to inbound. Harris gets it outside to Sirakas. Now Sirakas has it knocked away, but Eckert runs it down. Vikes still in that man-to-man defense right now. Eckert hit a couple threes in the first half, gives it over to Harris. Harris, left-hand dribble, comes around Sirakas. Outside to Anakwe. He drives in, flips it up and in. Jonathan Anakwe has got great body control. That's his second shot in the last couple of minutes, makes it a 4-point game.
Yeah, he and Harris kind of taking over when they need him here.
Deep three by Hamilton, and Brad goes to the deck, missed the shot. And now they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Kyle Hickey as he goes over the back of John Harris on that rebound. So Hamilton, a good look. Brad got a good look from beyond the arc, but could not get it to drop. And Brad's still looking for his first three on the game. He's got 4 points, but has yet to drop a tray down, and that's something this offense needs.
14:42 to go, 47-43. Monday when I come back to work, I'm going to go find out how we get hazardous duty pay. Huh? So, man, their bodies flying by us. We need some hazardous duty pay, Andy.
And Andy Poverenti says that would have qualified for a workers' comp claim. He says that would have been a workers' comp claim, so we're okay.
These guys, these young athletes are strong. And
47-43, the Vikings lead. 14 and a half minutes left in the game. Now John Harris just knocks Robbie Burton out of the way. I mean, John Harris stuck Robbie Burton with a left elbow that time, drove him right to the floor, no call. Harris lays it in, and now we've got a 2-point game.
47-45. You knew this thing was going to go right down to the wire. These two teams, the way these two teams battle. And Benedictine, knowing they still have a shot at the conference title. And the Vikings, well, I guess an outside shot as well. But no, the Vikings do not. They want to close in on that second spot. That's what the Vikings want to do.
Well, the Vikings will be no worse than tied for second if they can win this game this afternoon. It'll either be a two-way tie with the Vikings and Benedictine or a three-way tie if Peru State should beat Culver. But a lot to get done here yet. This is anybody's game. It's a 2-point game right now, and you can see by watching the intensity out here this afternoon why these two teams are near the top of the conference.
Yep. And we probably will start getting some of the early game scores. In fact, they're already coming in.
Are they?
Evangel beat Baker 61-53.
Okay. Well, Evangel now, the magic number for Evangel, they've got a 2-game lead with 2 to play. At least a 2-game lead, and that assumes Benedictine wins.
Yep. Vikings win, they win the conference.
Kyle Hickey, a 3 from the right wing. Got it! Kyle Hickey knocks down a tray, and that's big. That's Kyle's first bucket of the game. And Kyle Hickey, the freshman, he also hails from Fort Worth. Andre Scott, Byron Cook, Kyle Hickey, all from Fort Worth. That was a big one there, Ken. That gives the Vikings a 5-point lead.
Now go back to the defensive effort. Here's a reach-in foul.
Jordan Bowling grabs hold of Connor Fleming on the drive. That'll be a non-shooting foul, but that will be a foul on Jordan as he picks up his third. I guess you'd say it's a harmless foul. That's team foul number 4 on the Vikings. Benedictine has 5 in the second half, and we've got right at 14 minutes left to play. Be Benedictine ball into their own bucket as Harris will trigger it. Now he gets it into Fleming. Outside Eckert. Eckert hands to Harris. Harris on the high post. Fleming back to Anakwe. Anakwe walked, got away with it, I think. Now yo-yos on James Lane. Now spins it back between the circles. Anakwe faked a 3. There's a deep 3 by Eckert. This one misses. Battle for the ball. Robbie Burton out wrestles. That time Robbie Burton out wrestles Christian Heatherly for the ball. So nice job by Robbie to get that rebound. Heatherly and Burton went up, and Burton came away with it. 50-45, the Vikings lead. 13:24 left in the game. Vikes trying to move back into a tie for second place in the conference standings with only 2 games left to play after today. Cook. Byron bounce pass Hickey down to 8 on the shot clock. Cook inside, throws up a flip inside the lane, banked it off the glass too hard. Cook missed the jumper. Here comes Harris. Had it knocked away. Almost get the steal, but instead it comes back out to Anakwe for Benedictine. Now they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Byron Cook as he grabs hold of Jonathan Anakwe. As Jonathan penetrated into the paint, so Byron Cook, that's his first foul of the game. So he picks it up. It'll be a non-shooting foul. Both teams now have 5 fouls in the half. It'll be Benedictine ball under their own bucket.
Well, I think it's time offensively to start finding James Lane again. He's been quiet the last few possessions.
Now Ravi Burton blocks an attempt by Connor Fleming, but they're going to call the foul on Ravi as he got a piece of Fleming's arm. That'll be Ravi's second foul, and that'll put Connor Fleming on the line. He is a 6'7" sophomore out of St. Louis. Ravi's played a good game today.
Played a real good game.
Fleming will have a couple right here with 12:52 left. First one's good. So Fleming, that's his first point of the game. The 6'7" sophomore will have one more as Brad Hamilton comes back in. Byron Cook takes a seat for the Vikings.
Well, let's get Hamilton and Lane going here for about
Get those guys
5 or
hot.
6
We could
minutes.
open a pretty good cushion pretty quickly if they can both get going at the same time. Fleming to try to make 2 successful free throws. It doesn't happen, but an offensive rebound by Hatterley. So Fleming missed the free throw, but Hatterley tracks down the offensive rebound for Benedictine. So it stays a 4-point lead for the Vikings. Skip pass into the corner, deep three by Eckert. This one's short. Battle for the loose ball, another offensive rebound. Fleming goes around Hickey. Missed it, but a tip try in there by Christian Hatterley. Hatterley got inside. Fleming missed the shot, but Hatterley got inside position. Trims the Viking lead down to 2 with 12:22 left to play.
I'll give him credit on 2 of those. He had no chance to get the rebound. He just swatted the ball back out to his teammates, and now he finally got the tip in.
Now Hickey fakes a drive inside. Outside to James Lane. Need to get James hot. Now Hamilton around the screen. Brad will back it out right around the Viking in midcourt. We've got 12 minutes left to play in the game. Hickey, stop and go dribble. Down the middle. There's a deep three out of the corner by Lane. Got it! And give Kyle Hickey credit. Kyle Hickey caused the penetration that time. He went down the middle. He found a wide open James Lane in that corner, and that's a corner. I think every shot that's been taken out of that corner has found nothing but net. James Lane, the latest to visit the promised land right there, and he buries the 3. Vikings back up by 5, timeout.
Well, officially, I've got him with 20 points now, so that 32 isn't out of the realm of possibility. I think 12 or 18 or 20 points. Officially, we'll find
I've got
out.
him at 18.
What's Lane have, Andy? How many points does Lane have officially? We'll get the official announcement here. 20.
Okay,
So
they've got him at 20. All right.
20.
Okay.
So he's got 20 points.
Never argue with somebody that's the official.
No. So we'll give him 20, and he's getting closer to that. Again, another score is in. Let's see. No, those are the only 2 scores we have right now, and that was Mid-America Nazarene beat CMU today, 76-74.
So they're not out of the race. Mid-Am, I think, is that even their record?
Yeah, they're 8-8, and Central's 8-8. So
yeah.
they're both 8-8 now.
Yeah, wow.
Avila already played, so they're 8-8. Culver, they're playing today.
They're 8-7 coming in.
And Peru is 9-6.
They're tied with us. Peru's tied with us right now.
So we don't have that score. We get that score, we'll be able to figure this all out, at least with 2 games to go.
Let's see. Peru State and Culver, they're in overtime. It's 142 to 141 right now.
Could be.
Not really. Just kidding, folks.
Oh, man, they could, because those 2 teams want to get up and down the floor and get as many shots as they can.
Vikings lead by 5 here. 11:48 left to play. Vikes apply the press on defense. Now Kyle Hickey steps in, and Kyle gets a steal, and he's fouled after the steal. What a great play by the freshman out of Fort Worth. He got that big 3-point bucket not that long ago, and now he steps into the passing lane, forces a turnover, so good job by the freshman.
Yeah, great job, and then a good call because Fleming then grabbed him by the arm. So Vikes up by 5 with the ball.
11:41 left to play. Vikes can put a dent in this one if they can get a bucket. Not a long way to go yet, but they can open some space. Wrap around to Lane. Jumper off the baseline by Lane. This one misses. And that time Hatterley goes up and gets the rebound for the Ravens. Now driving inside and dishing it out is Sean Fleming. Gets it outside to Anakwe. Anakwe guarded by Lane. Anakwe puts up a deep 3. It's short. Rebound by guess who? Hickey. Kyle's playing a good game right now. Quickly into the forecourt. Now comes around a screen. Gets it back out to James Lane. JL spins down the middle. James loses a handle. Now Ravi Burton reaches over the back of Anakwe, and Ravi picks up a foul he probably shouldn't have picked up that time, and that'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, tried to knock it away, but reached over the back, and that's his 3rd. That's team foul number 7.
That's going to be 1-1 time now for Benedictine, and that'll put a man you really don't want on the line, Jonathan Anakwe, on the line as Messersmith comes back in. Joe Williams comes back into the Viking lineup. Robbie Burton takes a seat. So Anakwe on the line right now for a 1-1 with just under 11 minutes left to play. Missed it. Hey, you don't see that very often. Anakwe missed the free throw. So the Vikes dodged the bullet there.
76% free throw shooter coming in.
Hamilton, head of the key lane. Lane down low. Driving inside, Joe Williams puts up a hook at it, blocked by Messersmith. Boy, he's blocked. I'm not sure how many shots tonight, but he's the real deal on the inside.
Well, leads the conference in that category, and it shows why he's well over his average.
Might lead the country. He's a tremendous shot blocker.
Yeah, about 2.5 a game is what he has. He has 3 or 4 tonight.
Now lob inside. Oh, a nice pass. Good pass that time as they get the ball down low to Connor Fleming. Connor lays it in with the left hand to make it a 3-point game. 10 minutes and 18 seconds left to play. Hickey, head of the key, Andre Scott. Andre both feet on the floor, at least for right now. Came over our way a little while ago. Now Hickey inside. Back out to Lane. Lane's three. This one's short. Rebound Fleming. James got a good look that time, just left it a little bit short. And we're down under 10 minutes. Vikings nursing a 3-point lead, trying to move back into a tie for second place in the conference standings.
I think the Vikes have to find a way to get a shot or two for Brad Hamilton as well.
In the corner now. Anakwe drives in. Oh, nice dish, and Messersmith misses the dunk, but he missed it because he was fouled by Joe Williams, and that'll be Joe's 4th foul as Joe goes over the back of Jalen Messersmith, and that's going to put the big 6'8 senior on the line for 2 shots here. Messersmith from Blue Springs. I'm not sure if he played at Blue Springs High School, Blue Springs South, but good basketball up there, and Messersmith knocks down the first free throw, so if he can hit this second one, he can trim the Viking lead back down to 1. His wholesale changes for the Vikings. Byron Cook, Jake Fletcher, and Jordan Bowling come back into the lineup. They join Brad Hamilton and James Lane. So Messersmith, one more shot to try to make it a 1-point game. Senior puts it in the air, missed it, left it short, but John Harris tracks down the rebound. So
got the block
unfortunate for the Vikings. They let Benedictine get an offensive rebound. It's a 2-point game, 9.5 minutes left to play. Messersmith outside, head of the key to Chanuth. Now on the right side to Harris. Now there's a foul away from the ball. That's going to be an offensive foul. As somebody set an illegal screen, and I think they're going to call that on Sean Fleming. I think that was on, Sean Fleming. That's his first foul as he sets an illegal pick. So the Vikes get it back with 9:22 left to play, leading by Amir Deuce. Right wing now to Fletcher. Head of the key, James Lane. Lane back to Byron Cook. Byron, head of the key, Bowling. Byron gets a return pass. Outside now, Lane beyond the arc. James guarded by Chanuth. Now Cook will bring it back, reset the offense. Only 10 on the shot clock. Vikes need to get something going. There's Hamilton. Brad, a deep three. Got it!
There you go.
Brad Hamilton buries a three. That's his first triple of the game. Brad has 7. That's a big one. That gives the Vikings a 5-point lead.
Little head and shoulder fake. Got Fleming off his feet. Backed up a step. Knocked it down.
Nice job, Brad. Good run. Good job by the Vikes running their offense. We're down to 8.5 minutes left in the game. Eckert gives to Chanuth. Almost lost it on the right baseline. Eckert guarded by Hamilton right in front of Coach Ryan Moody and the Benedictine bench. Now Fleming backs it out right at midcourt with 12 on the shot clock. Vikes in that man-to-man defense. Fleming around a Messersmith screen. Deep three by Chanuth. This one misses. Rebound, Byron Cook. Nice job by the Vikings on defense that time. Cook down the middle. Gets it down low, and the shot missed by Jordan Bowling, but Jordan fouled. So once again, give the freshman Byron Cook credit. He penetrated down the lane, got the ball to Jordan Bowling. Bowling missed the shot, but he's fouled. And that's going to be the 3rd foul on John Harris, and that'll put Jordan Bowling, the sophomore out of Crane, on the line for 2 shots here. Bowling with a couple. Crowd gets real quiet all of a sudden. First shot in the air. Got it. So Jordan's become a good free throw shooter. We've got Andre Scott sitting right next to us. Andre leaped right over the top of us here just a few minutes ago and giving him a bad time back. We're okay, though, Andre. Bowling will have one more here. Try to make it a 7-point lead. Second shot by the sophomore. Good, he got him. So Jordan knocks down 3. And I'll tell you what, kid, he's becoming a pretty good free throw shooter.
Yeah, you don't mind having him at the line at all.
So the Vikes lead it by 7. They tie their biggest lead of the game so far. Just under 8 minutes left to play in the game. Anakwe outside, guarded by Hamilton. Vikes in that man-to-man defense. They've been there most of the game. Fleming tries to flip off the left side, and he's fouled. So Sean Fleming takes it right down the left wing, and he's fouled, I believe, by James Lane, and that'll be James's second foul. They say it's only his first. I had him with 1 already, but they say that's his first. We'd rather have him with 1 than 2, and we'll take that. Fleming on the line for 2 shots here. Fleming's first shot, no good. It pinballs out. Sean Fleming, he's a junior out of Dayton, Ohio, stands at 6'2". He'll have one more shot here. Try to bring Benedictine within 6 points. Fleming's second shot, got this one. So Fleming gets 1 out of 2. The Viking lead 58-52, 7 minutes and 42 seconds left to play in the game. Scott outside, gets it to Hamilton beyond the arc. Brad hit his first 3 of the game just a minute ago. Lane head of the key to Bowling. Bowling right wing Brad. Brad squares up for another 3. He got it! Brad Hamilton buries his second 3 in as many tries. Those 2 have been big, kid, and the Vikings out to a 9-point lead.
Fleming went for the steal, didn't get it. When he didn't get it, that let Hamilton open.
Fleming down the middle, and they're going to call him for a traveling violation. So the Worm, everything in the Vikings' favor right now. 7 minutes and 14 seconds left to play, a lot of time, but the Vikings lead it by 9, and they've got the ball.
Just keep playing hard and find your guys. Find Lane, find Hamilton, find Andre Scott.
61-52. Vikings led at halftime by a deuce. 35-33. Came out strong to start the second half, and they almost throw it away as Jordan Bowling turned his back, but Byron Cook runs down the ball for the Vikings. Andre Scott. Andre dribbles it out now, out beyond the arc. Now Andre guarded outside by Harris. Gets it back to Lane. Wrap around pass to Jordan. Be careful, Jordan. And Jordan drives inside, and they're going to say he shoved. And I think that's going to be the 4th foul on Messersmith. It is Jalen Messersmith gives Jordan Bowling a nice little shove in the back, and that's going to put the sophomore from Crane back on the line for what should be a 1-and-1 here with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left to play. And from this point on, all fouls on both teams will be 2-shot fouls.
All right, Jordan, knock these down. Let's get this thing in double digits for the first time today.
Jordan buried a couple of minutes ago. Let's see if he can do it again as Messersmith goes out and also Chanuth goes out. Fleming and Sarakas come back into the Benedictine lineup. Bowling on the line. Come on, Jordan. Knock a couple down here. Big 6'4" sophomore's first shot. Good. So Jordan has knocked down his last 3 free throws as he gives the Vikings a double-digit lead for the first time this afternoon, 62-52. He'll have one more. JB bends at the knees, giving the Vikings some good minutes here. Second shot, good. So what a job by Jordan Bowling. Now we've got a timeout on the floor, and the Vikings lead it by 11 with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left to play.
Boy, that's a big 63-52. 6:48 to go, and how about the bench play? You called it. Jordan Bowling 4 points, Joe Williams with a couple, and now it's getting to that point where you really play some good defense, because this is a team I wouldn't think Benedictine likes an up-paced tempo to come back, but going to have to play some pretty solid defense with Anakwe and those guys on the court.
When you missed it with Joe Williams, Joe's a starter tonight.
Joe was a starter tonight.
He came away, started senior night,
senior.
Did a good job.
So he got the start. Still waiting for that one score to come in.
Give me the 3 that you have.
The only 2 we have. There's
2.
only 4 games.
Oh, that's right.
Today.
Avila and Graceland didn't play,
waiting
did they?
for Culver and Peru. That's going to be a big game.
Well, it'll probably be 8 o'clock before that game's over.
As far as it should be about over unless it's going into overtime. This obviously will be the last game since we had 150 free throw shot in the women's game today. That's something else. We should just come out and shot free throws. Said, whoever makes most free throws wins the game.
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen a team. What was that differential? Did they have 29? They made, was it 29 more free throws than we made?
They were 36 out of 53. We were 7 out of 15.
So they made 29 more free throws than we did. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that differential, even in a Little League game of any type.
I really don't think I have either.
All right, well, right here, it's 6 minutes and 48 seconds left to play. The Vikings, who led by 2 at halftime, it's been a seesaw game the whole way. Right now, the Vikings' biggest lead of the game. They lead it by 11. Let's see if we can close this thing out here against a very good Benedictine Raven team. John Harris down the middle, throws it up with the left hand, bucket and one, and that's exactly what the Vikings don't need. There's a chance for a bucket and one as John Harris, their leading scorer, takes it with the left hand right down the middle. He's hacked by Jordan Bowling, and that's going to put Harris on the line, a chance to complete the three-point play here and make it an 8-point game.
And that's what they can do. That is what they can do so well with those strong guards, is get to that basket.
John Harris, that gives him 11 points in the game. He averages 12.9, so getting close to his average, and he hits the free throw. So Harris completes the three-point play. Joe Williams comes back in. Jordan Bowling will take a seat for the Vikings. So it's a 63-55. Missouri Valley leads, 6.5 minutes left in this one. Man-to-man defense. Brett Fisher outside on Cook. Brian almost loses it. Gets it on Andre Scott on the left wing. Andre hands to Cook on the right wing. Head of the key lane. Good ball movement. Brad Hamilton around a screen. Back to Cook. Gives it to Andre. 15 on the shot clock. Andre bumped by Sarakas. No call. Now Cook will back it out. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Vikes need to get into the offense. Cook drives in. Flips it up. Missed it. Byron Cook tried about an 8-foot jumper. Left it short. Here comes Benedictine. Harris to Fleming. Fleming hands outside to Fisher. Game a long way from over. Down in the block, and now Joe Williams. I think Joe might have just fouled out of the game. As Joe Williams runs into Ryan Sarakas down in the baseline. I think that's going to be number 5 on Joe. Did they call it on Joe or did they call it on Sam? Yeah, it's 5 on Joe.
2 points for Joe, and he is out of the game.
So Joe will take a seat. He was 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Got a start this afternoon on Senior Day, and he's going to sit down and probably played his last. He did play at least his last regular season game on this court. Yep. No, that's right. We play Thursday night here. What am I talking about?
Yeah, Thursday night, and hopefully the Vikings can get a couple of playoff games at home as well.
Now Robbie Burton comes back in. So with the Vikings, it's going to be Robbie Burton, James Lane, Byron Cook, Brad Hamilton, Andre Scott. That's the quintet on the floor for the Vikings. With 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to play, it's an 8-point Viking lead, but Ryan Sarakas, the big 6'10" senior out of Athens, Greece, will be on the line for 2 shots right here. First shot by Sarakas. Bangs it off the back of the rim. No good. He'll have one more. Vikes need to screen out. Don't let somebody get an offensive rebound here. Second shot by Sarakas in the air. Missed them both. Vikes dodged the bullet there. Nice rebound, James Lane. So, boy, came out of that one smelling like a rose, kid.
Missed both free throws. Now take advantage of that.
Now Cook brings it across. Comes around a screen. Gives it outside to Andre. Robbie Burton, right wing to Hamilton. Brad around head of the key. Now Brad drives inside. Throws it up over Fleming. Oh, missed it. And that could have been goaltending. Somebody rattled the net that time. That ball, Brad Hamilton drove right down the left side. Somebody got a hand up inside that net, and it shook the rim a little bit. No call. Vikes at least get the ball, but that could have been GT right there.
I think so, too. They hand in the net as that ball was rolling around.
Yeah, and you saw the basket shake a little bit. All right, Viking ball. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. Cook outside against the man. It's an 8-point Viking lead. Bounce pass, Robbie Burton. Robbie squares up. Gives it to Hamilton. Brad's three from the head of the key, short. No good. Rebound, Benedictine. Brad got a good look, got his feet set, just missed it off to the left side. Vikes need a stop here. Andre Scott outside on John Harris. Harris with a yo-yo dribble. Now comes around a Fleming screen, head of the key. Gives it back to Fleming. That's Connor Fleming. Deep three by Harris. This one no good. Battle for the rebound. James Lane gets it.
James.
Good job by James. Screening out on the defensive glass, and we're down to 4.5 minutes in the game. Man-to-man by Benedictine. Hamilton hounded by Harris into the corner to Andre. Andre backs it out right in front of the Viking bench. Wraparound pass into Ravi. Ravi almost loses the handle. Nowhere to go. Back to Andre. Andre down the paint. Puts it up inside. Missed it, but he's fouled. So a nice, strong penetration that time by Andre Scott. He went in with the right side, spun back to the left, took the jump shot, missed it, but he draws the two-shot foul as he's hammered that time, and I think that foul is going to come up. I believe that's Jonathan Anakwe, and that'll be his third foul. So Andre Scott, the senior out of Fort Worth, on the line for a couple here with 4 minutes and 16 seconds left to try to give the Vikings a 10-point lead if he can hit both charity tosses. First shot, good. So Andre knocks down the second. He's 3 for 4 from the line tonight, and I've got him with 13 points. They had him.
Ball game.
Yeah. Andre will have one more here. Senior puts up the second one, missed this one. So the lead is 9 for the Vikings as Andre gets 1 out of 2. 4 minutes and 12 seconds. It's still a 3-possession game. Harris guarded by Cook. Vikes in his zone now, looks like.
Playing a little zone.
Vikes in his own defense. Harris comes right down the teeth of the zone. Had it blocked by Ravi Burton. Ravi got up and swatted that one away from Jonathan Harris. Big defensive play by the junior out of St. John's, Antigua. Wraparound pass. Ravi gets it. Now skips it over to Cook. Byron head of the key to Andre. Andre tried to drive inside, almost had it knocked away, and they're going to say it was knocked out of bounds. Off of Benedictine. The Ravens they say the Vikings touched it last, but that's not what the guys in the striped shirts say. They say Benedictine the last to hit it. It'll be Viking ball with 3:40 left on the clock. Andre Scott to trigger it in. Somebody's got to get open. James Lane does. James gives it out to Cook right around the Viking at midcourt. Byron left-hand dribble picked up by Brett Fisher. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Cook around the screen. Byron throws up a runner inside and got it. And what a time for the freshman to get his first basket. Throws in a runner as the shot clock was winding down. Vikings by 11. 3:17 left. Timeout on the floor. A lot of time left, but you can feel this crowd, this Viking team, starting to feel it right now.
A good timeout taken by Ryan Moody because the Vikings are up by 11. That matches their largest lead of the game. Boy, a couple more defensive possessions, a couple more buckets, and you're going to be tied for second in the league. How about that?
Byron Cook just flipped up a teardrop that time. Was into the lane. The shot clock was winding down quickly. He just flipped it up about as softly as you can put a shot. It danced on the rim and rolled in, and that is a big one right there.
Yeah, it was. And as you said, his first basket of the game, and it couldn't come at a better time. 66-55. 3:17 to go. So, again, with Evangel winning today at Baker, 61-53, a win by the Vikings would put us in a tie for second place, but it would also give Evangel the conference title, but that's okay. We can then go and battle for second place.
Well, you look at these two teams. Benedictine has a game at home against Culver Stockton on Thursday. Then they go to Springfield to take on Evangel next Saturday. We play Evangel here on Thursday night, and we go to Baldwin City to take on Baker. So I would really say I think I would rather have the Vikings' final two games. Both of us play Evangel. We play Evangel here. They have to play Evangel on the road.
Trying to see if I can find a score from that last game. Still not getting that score, but of the Peru game against Culver.
Benedictine ball, 3 minutes left to play in the game. Anakwe outside. Oh, he just ran over James Lane. Oh, wow. Jonathan Anakwe just lowered his head and ran right over James Lane, and they called a foul on James.
I don't blame Coach going, what? You just can't lower your head and shoulders and take off running and plow into the lane.
These guys have called a very good game. That was not a good call, I don't think.
That was not a good call. They've been pretty good tonight.
Anakwe will have 2 here. First one up and in. So Jonathan Anakwe knocks down the first free throw. He trims the lead down to 10 with 3:05 left to play. He'll have one more here. Anakwe's second. Missed it. Rebound James Lane. So Anakwe, something he hasn't done. He has missed 2 free throws here in the second half, and now Byron Cook fouled.
Not a bad foul.
No,
not a bad foul.
Not at all. And I think Byron's probably the guy that Benedictine, they know they're going to have to start thinking about fouling with exactly 3 minutes left, and Byron Cook could probably be a prime target, as that's foul number 2, and that comes up on Clark. That's Vigwan Clark. gets a foul. Byron Cook for 2 here. Hey, got the first one. Good job, Byron. Byron's hit his last 2 shots, hit that teardrop in the lane, now knocks down the first of a 2-shot foul. The freshman out of Fort Worth. No better time to get your offense in top notch than right here. See if Byron can hit this second free throw. Second shot by BC. Good, he got them both. Nice job by the freshman. And that's a great sign right there. And the Viking bench meets him as they take him out of the game. They send Kyle Hickey into the Viking lineup. And 2 big free throws by Cook to give the Vikings a 12-point lead. We're under 3 minutes in the game. Now Harris outside. Vikings still in that zone, it looks like. Zone defense. They're going to make Benedictine take some shots from the outside here. Harris thinks about a 3. Now pulls up beyond the arc. Good D by Andre Scott. Now Harris goes to the baseline. In the corner, there's a deep 3 out of the corner by Anakwe, and he buries it. So Jonathan Anakwe buries a 3 right in front of the Benedictine bench to make it a 9-point Viking lead. Here's James Lane down the middle. James puts it up. Had it blocked by Messersmith, and they're going to call goaltending. They're going to say that ball was up in the cylinder as James Lane went down the middle. Jalen Messersmith whacked it away, but the ball was on the way down. So James Lane, 22 points for James, I believe.
Yeah, he's had a big outing, and he probably has another double-double, I'm sure, with his rebound.
70-59, the Vikings lead at 2:20 left to play. Vikes on the verge of moving into a tie for second place in the conference standings. Anakwe outside, picked up by Cook. Into the corner. Fleming fakes a 3. That's Connor Fleming. Anakwe, a deep 3 off the right side. Got another one. And Jonathan Anakwe feeling it right now as he's buried his last 2 threes to make it an 8-point game.
Never easy, is it?
Andre Scott in the backcourt. Now Andre calls a timeout as Benedictine about to set up. Oh, now they call a T. Oh, wow.
What is it?
Oh, wow. They've called a T, I think, on the Vikings. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
They've called a technical foul on Andre Scott. They said he threw an elbow. Wow. They called a technical foul on Andre Scott for throwing an elbow. So when we come back, we've got a timeout. There's 1:56 left. Benedictine will shoot 2 free throws, and the Vikings then should get the ball out of bounds.
Well,
wow.
That may be the rule, but you got to use some common sense. In a tight game, it's a physical game. He was double-teamed. There's people scratching, clawing, and they call technical foul.
I don't know. I didn't see what happened. They said he threw the elbow. So
well, it could be a huge part of the game.
It's going to put somebody on the line now for Benedictine for 2 shots. 1 minute and 56 seconds left to play. It's an 8-point Viking lead right now. The Vikings lead at 70-62, but let's assume they hit those 2 free throws. It's going to be a 6-point game, a 2-possession game, and 1:56 can be a lot of time.
Game of Christmas.
All right, for the Vikings, it's going to be James Lane, Byron Cook, Andre Scott, Robbie Burton, Brad Hamilton. That's the quintet on the floor right now. And let's see who Benedictine. They're going to pick Brett Fisher. Brett Fisher is going to he's going to shoot the 2 free throws for Benedictine.
So it's a 3-possession game, but this could change in a hurry.
Fisher, a 6-foot senior out of Overland Park, Kansas. He'll have a couple of free throws here. His first free throw is good. So Fisher knocks down the first one, give him 6 points in the game. He'll have 1 more. So it's going to could be a 2-possession game if he knocks down this second charity toss. And he does. So Brett Fisher, perfect, nothing but net. Coach Ryan Moody knew who to send to the line that time. Brett Fisher went there, knocked him down. And it'll be Viking ball with 1:56 left to play. And it's getting to be white knuckle time here.
Yep. Got to inbound the ball, 35 on the shot clock. Have to inbound the ball,
James
take care of the ball.
Lane gets it into Cook.
Take care of the ball here.
Byron. Now they got to know what do we got now?
I have no idea. This guy's kind of taking over the game, I think.
All of a sudden we got the officials running along the scorer's table, make some call. I have no idea what that call was about.
Well, they may not have. They reset the shot. Well, it was a technical foul, so they probably should have reset the shot clock.
Yeah, I would think.
I have no idea.
It's a shot clock issue. That's what it is. So it's going to be Viking ball right in front of the. We're going to have to go and take it the length of the floor again. Now they're going to let us take it in right in front of the Benedictine bench. So it's going to be Viking ball now. 1 minute and 55 seconds. That's the time that's on the clock, at least for right now. It could, I guess that's subject to change. 1:55 up there. Vikes get it into Cook. Byron guarded by Fisher in the backcourt. Byron gets it across the timeline. Good job by the freshman. Now Byron gets it to Scott on the left wing. Head of the key to Burton. Right wing, Brad Hamilton. Vikes running some time off that clock. Hamilton outside. Right wing, Scott. Wraparound pass into James. Lane backs in. There's that hook. Got it! James Lane with that sky hook. 24 points in the game. Way to go, Big James. 1:27 left. It's an 8-point game.
Goes to that baseline with that little hook, and he knocks it down.
Good job by the Vikes running their offense that time. Need a stop here. Anakwe fakes a three. Deep three by Fisher off the right wing. This one almost went down. Pinball's out. And now Messersmith gets the offensive rebound, and he's fouled by James Lane.
Looked like he got over the back, but
so James Lane whacks Jalen Messersmith with 1:12 left to play. So Messersmith, with his team down by 8, will be on the line to try to make this a 2-possession game with 2 free throws here.
That would have been a big, big rebound.
Messersmith got the first one. He'll have one more. Give him 12 points in the game, the senior out of Blue Springs. He'll have one more. If he hits this one, it'll be a 6-point Viking lead. Second shot by the senior. Got it. So Messersmith buries both of them, so the Vikings need to run their offense again. And now the Vikings almost turn it over on the inbounds pass, and Coach Ryan Moody and his staff wanted the call, but they didn't get it. So Vikes keep possession. Got to get it in. Lane gets it into Cook. Now he gets a return pass. Now back to Robbie. Good job by the Vikings. Ahead to Hamilton. Now Brad will back it out. Then they get it back around midcourt to Cook. We're under a minute to play in the game. A 6-point Viking lead. Hamilton hacked. They didn't call it there. Now Brad with 16 on the shot clock. Now he's fouled by Connor Fleming as Fleming runs into Brad Hamilton right in front of the Viking bench. So the senior out of Pittsville, Illinois, Brad Hamilton, is going to be on the line for 2 shots right here.
Well, if he knocks these down, it'll be back to an 8-point game, and we'll take that exchange. Let's see what the young man can do here. 2 for 2
Vikes a good job keeping the ball in the hands of their good free throw shooters. Let's see if Brad can knock a couple down here. Come on, Brad. First one, good. So Hamilton buries the first one. He's got 11 in the game.
78% free throw shooter.
If he hits this one, it'll be an 8-point Viking lead, a 3-possession. It's going to be a 3-possession game anyway. Second shot is good. So Brad buries both of them. Nice job by the senior. Let's get a stop here, and we'll be in good shape.
No fouls.
Now Harris outside. Harris double team. Bounces it off Andre Scott's foot out of bounds. Or off of James Lane's foot out of bounds. So it's going to be Benedictine ball. 44.2 seconds left to play in the game. 74-66. The Vikings lead it. Trying to, as we said, trying to move back into a tie for second place in this mumble-jumble Heart of America Conference race.
And everybody rooting for the Evangelical Crusaders are Viking fans right now.
Now Fisher outside, lobs into Messersmith. He goes up over Burton, and Robbie whacks him. So Robbie Burton picks up his 4th foul. That's going to put Jalen Messersmith back on the line for 2 shots with 36 seconds left. 74-56. The Vikings lead. Messersmith on the day is, I've got him at 5 out of 6 on the day. He's got 13 points. He'll have 2 free throws right here as Kyle Hickey set to check back in for the Vikings. And Messersmith, I'll tell you, Ken, for a guy 6'8", he's got a pretty nice touch from the free throw line.
Cook comes out, Hickey comes in. Chad wants a little bit of free throw shooter.
Messersmith with one more right here to try to make it a 2-possession, 6-point game. Second shot by the senior is good. So Messersmith perfect from the line. Vikes need to run the floor again. Now Andre Scott doubled in the corner. And now Andre, I believe, is fouled. Oh, they got a timeout. Vikes get a timeout. So Coach Chad Lance calls timeout as Andre Scott was double-teamed in the far corner.
Okay, timeout, yeah.
33. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We've got the other game.
Okay.
Culver beat Peru 105-85. So
85.
Yeah. So Culver now is 9-7. Peru 9-7. The Vikings, Central Methodist 8-8, Avila 8-8, Mid-America 8-8. The Vikings can win; they'd be 9-7, or 10-6 rather, and they would have the tiebreaker against Peru.
So even if we win, we are still only going to have a 1-game lead on both Culver and Peru.
Well,
is that
really
right?
2 on Peru because we beat them both times.
Okay, yeah, with the tiebreaker.
So we got the tiebreaker on them.
Yeah. Okay.
But with Culver,
right.
that'd still be. But so you basically have fourth place. You basically, if you win today, the way I've got it figured out, you're almost at home. Yeah.
Let's just take it one game at a time and just see what happens. All right, we come back. It'll be Viking ball. 33.1 second left to play. 74-68. The Vikings lead it. They will inbound. They will have to take it the length of the floor against, I'm sure, a very tough trapping pressure defense. And very important, I think, right now to keep the ball in the hands of your good free throw shooters. Looks like James Lane's going to do the inbounds. He'll be on the far sideline over there. He'll trigger it. Looks like a man-to-man press by man-to-man press. They get it to the big guy, Ravi Burton, who gets it right back to Lane. Lane ahead to Hickey. Nice job breaking the press by the Vikings.
There you go.
And now Brad Hamilton fouled immediately by Jonathan Anakwe. So several seconds lapsed off the clock. 27.1 seconds on the clock. Brad Hamilton, who just buried a couple of free throws minutes ago, will go right back to the stripe for two right here to try to make this a three-possession game.
Mike's trying to tie for second.
First shot by Bradley's good. So Brad's knocked down his last three, and boy, you like to see the left-hander out of Pittsfield on the line, and he'll have one more. It's a 7-point game now. He will try to make it 8. Second shot by the southpaw in the air. Missed it, but it's still a three-possession game. It's a 7-point Viking lead. Now behind the back dribble by Harris. Loses it to Fisher. Head of the key. In the corner, they throw it over Anakwe's head. And now they say, though, Andre Scott got a piece of the ball. They say Andre tipped that pass. Connor Fleming threw that right over Jonathan Anakwe's head out of bounds, but they say Andre touched it, so it'll be Benedictine's ball. 18 seconds left to play. 75-68 Vikings. Outside Fisher, deep NBA three. Got it. Brett Fisher buries a deep three. And, I mean, that maybe should have been a 4-point shot as he nails it from well beyond the arc. 15.5 seconds left. Timeout on the floor. 75-71. Vikings by 4.
I'm telling you what, these games are never over with a three-point shot. That was long. That was... Oh, gosh, that's a good 24
You remember the phrase, it ain't over till it's over.
That's right, and they still got two-possession lead, still in good shape.
Was that Yogi that said that?
I don't know, long time, long before my lifetime.
I like when Yogi said nobody goes to that restaurant anymore, it's too crowded. And then I like the one where the waitress asked him, do you want your pizza cut into 4 or 8 pieces? He says, you better cut it into 4. There's no way I can eat 8 pieces.
That was Yogi, Hall of Famer, though. He was a great baseball
Yes,
player.
he was. Yeah, he was. Pretty good manager, too.
Now, the Vikings, two-possession game, 15.5 seconds left. Get the ball in bounds, make a few free throws, and you'll be tied with Benedictine for second place.
What a clutch shot there by Brett Fisher, though. I mean, that was a deep three from way beyond the arc, and he nailed that one, and that kept the Ravens alive. So it'll be Viking ball. And again, Vikings have done a good job against the press. Let's see if we can do it one more time with 15.5 seconds. If we can get the ball across the timeline right now,
in good shape.
It'll be big.
Yeah, got to get the ball in, make a couple free throws.
Still a two-possession game, a 4-point game right now. Vikes to trigger inbounds against the man-to-man press. Kyle Hickey, Andre Scott, Ravi Burton, James Lane, and Brad Hamilton, the 5 on the floor right now. James gets it into Ravi, and Ravi's fouled immediately as he's grabbed by Brett Fisher, so only about less than 1 second ticked off the clock on that exchange. And that's going to put the big guy, Ravi Burton, the junior out of St. John's, Antigua, will be on the line for 2 shots here as he'll try to extend the lead back to 6.
Yeah, it only took, what, a second?
Yeah, less than a second.
So
Ravi, I'm not going to tell you what Ravi is today. He's had a good day from the line. I don't want to jinx him. Come on, big guy. The junior at the line, bends the knees. First shot in the air, missed it. So Ravi will have one more. Regardless of what happens, it's going to be a two-possession game. 14.7 seconds left on the clock. So let's see if Ravi can knock down this second free throw. Big guy dribbles it a couple times, puts it in the air, missed them both. So Ravi needed a couple there. He missed them both. And now a tie-up. And with the alternate possession rule, it's going to be Benedictine ball as Ravi Burton and Jonathan Anakwe tied up. So it'll be Benedictine's ball with 12.6 seconds left to play. Vikes need a stop right here. Get it into Harris. Harris across the timeline. Comes around a screen. Harris throws it up with the left hand. Got it. So John Harris hits the shot. John Harris makes it a 2-point game as he drives inside, hits a layup with 6.9 seconds to go. Timeout on the floor, and guys, this game is not over yet. It's a 2-point, 75-73 Valley lead. 6.9 seconds to go, and Vikes are going to have to hit some free throws to save this one.
Going to have to hit them, and let's see who Coach brings out on the floor. I would imagine he'll bring, well, I haven't seen him make any moves here. Hamilton obviously will stay out there and lane. They're good free throw shooters, Andre Scott, but you're right, Vikings are still going to have to hit a couple of free throws. It's a 2-point game, 6.9 seconds to go.
And give Benedictine credit. I thought this game was over 2 or 3 minutes ago, and boy, the Ravens.
Well, the shot by Fisher was huge. That kept him in the game. He misses that one, the game is probably over. But he made that, and the Vikings helping him out by missing 3 of their last 4 free throws.
Yeah. All right, it'll be Viking ball. They're going to have to take it the length of the floor against this pressure defense, 75-73. We'll tell you in just a minute who the Vikings send out onto the floor. It's going to be Andre Scott. Jake Fletcher comes in. Brad Hamilton, James Lane, Kyle Hickey. So Scott, Hamilton, Hickey, Fletcher, and Lane, the 5 on the floor for the Vikings. 5 pretty good free throw shooters. And I think probably they will go after Jake Fletcher just due to the fact Jake has not been in the game that much here in the second half. We'll see, though. He's a good free throw shooter.
Got to inbound the ball first.
Likes to inbound. Movement. Get it in, guys. They get it into Andre Scott, and Andre's fouled. So Andre fouled on the baseline with 5.7 seconds left to play. So Andre, if he could knock down 2, he can pretty well ice the game. If he misses both or hits one, Benedictine still has a shot.
Now, if he makes one and misses one, then you get into that situation. Do you foul and make them go to the line? Do you allow them to take a shot at the three-pointer? So we'll find out.
All right, Andre Scott, the senior out of Fort Worth, Texas, on the line for a couple right here. A couple of big ones here. Andre's first shot in the air. Got it. Got the ball, danced on the rim, and dropped. So Andre can ice it right here. That makes it a 3-point game. If he can hit this shot, the Vikings are going to move into a tie for second place in the conference standings. Senior bends at the knees. Andre Scott shot. And he got them both. The Vikings, barring some wild, unforeseen circumstance, are going to win this game. Inakwe, deep 3 by Chanuth at the buzzer. It's good, but the game has come to an end, and the Vikings come out with a 77-76 win. And folks, just like that, the Missouri Valley Vikings have moved back into a tie with this Benedictine team for second place in the Heart of America Conference race with 2 games left to play. And that was a hard-earned victory, Ken.
And they're celebrating in Springfield. Congratulations to the Crusaders. The Vikings helped you to get a conference title, but now the Vikings tied for second place, as you said, in the league at 10-6. Peru's 9-7, Culver 9-7. It's still wild with 2 games to go, but boy, you like the Vikings' chances now with the Vikings. What, Joe, right now the Vikings still control their own destiny as far as second place. They still control their own destiny.
2 games left. Got Evangel here on Thursday night, then we make that trip to Baldwin City on next Saturday, a week from today. So, and that really solidified the Vikings' chance to be one of the top 4 teams. They're not there yet, but that certainly helped their prospects right there with this big 1-point win this afternoon.
Yeah, they're not there yet because there's still a couple teams that can catch them. But this really certainly helped somewhat there. And so the scores are in today, and the Vikings get what we consider is the biggest win. How about that? It goes in as a 1-point.
I think this is the biggest win I can remember in quite a while for this program. Big win.
Tied for second in the league now. We'll go over all that conference scoring. Again, we'll get the coach in here for just a couple of moments as the Vikings hang on to win it, 77-76. I can't wait to see the stats on James Lane. I have a feeling he probably had his 8th double-double. Chad Lance joined as coach. 77-76 is the final score. You had a 7-point lead. Missed 3 out of 4 free throws down the stretch, but Andre hit the 2 that mattered.
You know, that was exactly right. We knew we just got to keep playing, keep battling, and we talked about toughness, being on the road and different things such as that, and we did that down the stretch. And I thought, man to man, I think Rebounding-wise, obviously it's not all going to be perfect, but at the end it was enough for us to be victorious.
And I don't have the stats yet. I'm getting them right now. And your big guys led you tonight. James Lane, 24 points, 8 rebounds. Scott and Hamilton each had 13. Robbie had 11. The guys you count on scored for you in this big game.
Well, that's what we had to have. We talk about guys stepping up for big games, and we did that. I mean, I'm proud of our guys' effort, and we stayed together. I mean, I get so mad. I mean, I'm just an emotional person, so I try to do my very best to control it, but sometimes it gets the best of me.
All right, let's take a look at other stats in this ball game. I'm just looking. They out-rebound by 6, but they're a big ball club. That's going to happen. They're a big ball club.
They are a big ball club. It's probably the most physical team we've played all year. I mean, they do such a good job of sealing in the post and big guards that are physical, that attack, and great ball club, great win for us, and we needed to get it. That's a signature win for us. We've been talking about it throughout the course of the season, is we had to get one.
You got it today, and how about this? Here are the scores, Coach. Evangel wins the conference, so they were all rooting for you in the last few minutes. Their game's been over for a little while, so I'm sure they were all watching and rooting for you. So you can say you helped Coach Jenkins get a title today. And so they clinched it today with their win, 61-53 over Bakers. They're 13-3. Then you and Benedictine now 10-6. Mid-America beat CMU 76-74, and Culver over Peru 105-85. So you're 10-6, Benedictine 10-6. Then Culver and Peru, here they come, huh? They're both 9-7, 8-8 for Central Methodist, Avila, and Mid-America Nazarene, and then Baker and Graceland. So there's 2 games to go, and who knows what's going to happen.
2 games to go, and we got to finish strong. Maybe I had our guys a little too unfocused, and I had us talking about 2 weeks and whatnot, and really when it was just we need to be focused on one game at a time.
All right, Coach, just a super win. Go celebrate this one. It is a signature win, and one of the biggest ones that I've done for your ball club, and let's keep it going. Let's knock off the conference champs on Thursday, huh? Maybe get into that second place by ourselves.
Let's do it.
All right, Coach. Chad Lance. So the Vikings win it by a point, 77-76 was the final score. The scoring, first of all, for Benedictine, 15 for Jalen Messersmith, 14 apiece to Anaquay and Harris, 6 for Chanute, 8 for Austin Eckert, 1 for Connor Fleming, 2 for Christian Hatterley, 3 points for Sean Fleming, and Zarakis had 6. How about for the Vikings, Joe?
Well, for the Vikings, James Lane with 24. James led the way. Another good effort for him. 32, 32, and 24 in his last 3 games. He leads the way. Also in double figures, Andre Scott and Brad Hamilton. They both came up big at the end. Brad drained those 2 big threes, hit some big free throws. Andre, those 2 free throws at the end to ice the game. Also in double figures, Robbie Burton. Robbie got most of his early, but he got the Vikes off to a good start. He had 11. Then after that, 4 points each for Byron Cook. He had 4 big points. Jordan Bowling hit 4 big free throws in the game. 3 points in the game each for Kyle Hickey. Kyle and Jake Fletcher each had 3. They both had big 3-point shots, and then 2 points in the game for Joe Williams. So it was a team effort. A lot of guys pitched in.
So the Vikes tied for second. They'll take on the conference champion Evangel Crusaders here Thursday night. Come on out and join it if you're in the area. Vikes have a real good chance now to pull into second place in the Heart of America Conference. Joe, let's wrap this up, and we'll see everybody on Thursday.
Big game Thursday. Come out and see this one. Evangel, the team that just won the conference today. Let's give them their first loss since they've been crowned conference champs.
All right, so we'll have both games starting about 5:30 Thursday. For Joe Alkenquiava and for Chaz Maddy and the live stream crew, so long from the Burn Center.